Yeah.
You ever send pictures to your buddies?
Nah.
Yeah.
It's probably smart.
That's very smart. Keep it low digital footprint.
You don't want to make them jealous.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Well, DJ, thanks so
them,
much.
you don't want to give them that cock envy.
Yeah. Oh.
No, definitely
No,
not.
not.
Definitely not. On today's Part in My Take, we have our good friend Tom Fornelli in studio talking college football, getting us ready for the college football season, getting us ready for week 1. He releases a mega lock, almost a game of the year for week 1 on Saturday. We also hosted Kentucky Sports Radio on Tuesday, one of our favorite days of the year. We have the best of that, some great calls. I never thought that we would be in a 10-minute conversation about cockfighting.
Oh, I did.
But we did.
Yeah.
We were there. So great calls from the Kentucky Sports Radio listeners. Shout out Matt Jones for having us guest host again. Mount Rushmore season, final 2 Mount Rushmores coming up. Hank and Max need to make a move. We're going to do the Mount Rushmore of things that we'll do eventually.
Hey, Big Cat, I saw a stat come across my desk yesterday.
Let's wait because I don't want people to miss that stat. Let's
Okay.
wait till we do the Mount Rushmore because sometimes people skip the start of the show. We need to.
I'll say the stat, and then the Barstool gambling account will steal it.
Yeah,
2
we
days
need to
later.
dive
Okay.
into that stat. I know I saw the same stat. We got to dive. We got to really dive into it.
Yeah.
And then we'll do guys on chicks, and we'll talk a little hot seat cool throwing in football. Before we do all of that, Verizon. This season, Verizon is making sure the NFL fans everywhere have a great plan to watch it all out of market Sunday afternoon games. What's not a great plan? Crowded sports bars with obnoxious rival fans or texting your family for play-by-play updates because you don't get the game. What is a great plan? For a limited time, you can get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube or YouTube TV on us. That's a value of up to $449. Plus, when you switch to Verizon, you can also get a new 5G phone on them, like the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5, all with Verizon's My Plan, the plan for fans. Get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us at Verizon.com/take. For this season, when you switch to My Plan, with eligible phone purchase and unlimited plus up to $449 of value applies to NFL Sunday Ticket season 23 to 24 only. Additional terms and embargoes apply to NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. No refunds, but listen, do it right now. Get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us at Verizon.com/take. I've been stressing this for the last month. You got to make sure you got your plans set for how you're going to watch football all fall long. And here is the plan. You go to Verizon.com/take and you get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us at Verizon.com/take. So do it right now. We're Verizon guys. We've always been Verizon guys. Verizon is the best service out there. So go right now. Get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us at Verizon.com/take. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part in My Take. Today is Wednesday, August 30th, and unfortunately, guys, it's cut day.
Yeah, it's
NFL cut day.
Tough day. A lot of practice squad stashing out there. You can always convince yourself that a high, like a first, second, third round pick that gets cut, you want to pick that guy up, bring him in, see if you can reclaim him.
He flashed.
A lot of reclamation projects going on out there across
Nathan
the league.
Peterman got cut by the Bears.
That's sad to see.
Very, very sad. He'll be fine, though, as soon as John Gruden gets another job.
Yeah, he put up one of the most legendary stat lines in NFL history. We'll always have a soft spot for old Nady P.
I hope he finds a place. We also have the big news. So we're taping this at 2:30 on Tuesday. We're getting ourselves ready for NFL season. We know the hours that come with it, the late hours, so we're taping it a little early in the afternoon. Do we think by the end of this show, Jonathan Taylor will be a Miami Dolphin?
Oh, that's a good question.
So here's, just to set the stage, the Colts have a 4 p.m. deadline. They have to decide at 4 p.m. whether he's going to be on the PUP list and miss the first 4 games or possibly trade him. The Dolphins have been making some funny little moves. They traded a offensive lineman to the Bears. They cut Myles Gaskin. They freed up almost exactly the amount of cap space they need to sign Jonathan Taylor. Will Jonathan Taylor be a Dolphin?
It'll be interesting if he becomes a Dolphin and then struggles with a Dolphin. Will Jim Irsay then pay to fly him across the country?
You can fly a Dolphin for sure.
Easy.
Yes.
Easy. That's so easy.
No problem.
Dolphin could sit coach.
Yes, Dolphin could do Southwest.
Yeah.
And they could be in like the seas.
Spirit Airlines. You see, it's halfway filled with Dolphins the entire time.
I hope Jonathan Taylor goes to the Dolphins, and I will say this right now: if Jonathan Taylor goes to the Dolphins, it will be very hard for me not to bet on the Dolphins every week because in a dude-off, they would probably be leading the league.
So I'll say if he goes to the Dolphins, it is the AFC Beast.
Yeah,
That is a gauntlet. That's the group of death.
yeah. Dude-off, Miami Dolphins.
Okay, you want to do a dude off?
Tua,
Jalen Waddle,
Tyreek Hill,
Jonathan Taylor,
Bradley Chubb,
Alec Ingold.
Jalen Ramsey when he comes back from injury.
Ah, that's a good one.
It's pretty good. A lot of dudes.
That's a lot of dudes.
A lot
there.
of dudes.
I'm missing out on somebody.
Gesicki's no longer on the Dolphins, which we will do on Friday. We're going to do Jake will have a PowerPoint to get everyone ready for the NFL
Preparing
season.
it now, a few rule changes.
Yep, few rule changes, football math with Hank.
And then same faces, new places.
Same face, new place is going to be a great Friday
You
show
have
for
to help
that.
me with that, Jake.
The football math? No, football math is just a quiz I'm going to give you.
Oh, okay.
Hank,
So
have
you just got to bring your brain
since
for
you're
the first
corporate-
time ever.
You're a corporate guy now. Have you learned how to put together a deck?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're a PowerPoint guy.
Hell
Can
yeah.
we see one of your
packaging?
decks?
Let me see your deck.
Let's see it.
Let's
Wanna
see your
see
deck.
the
Whip out your deck.
Oh, you want to see the Jersey Jerry one?
You have a picture of Jersey
Yeah.
Jerry
Ghost
in your
hunting?
deck?
Yeah, let's see it. Whip out the deck. Wow, our boy's all grown up. But yeah, cut
That's my
day
title
sucks.
page.
That's your title
That's
page.
a good title
Yeah.
page. Jake. I like that.
2023, pardon my take, NFL preseason presentation. We got to figure out how to do it so that we can get it on the YouTube for the people at home. Please
Yeah.
subscribe to the YouTube. By the way, we need to get to 5. We need to get to 500,000 by the end of football season.
We
right?
need to get there. Memes. I haven't even talked to memes about this, and I was just trying to conceptualize in my head. Probably shouldn't be doing it live on the pod, but
No, let's
we're
conceptualize.
close to 1 million on Instagram and TikTok and kind of Twitter. What if there was a world where we could get them all at the same time,
Oh, the triple combo.
The Triple Crown. Yeah.
and like somehow set it up where if we can do it, then we'll give back.
The world
somehow,
explodes. Oh, we could give back. We could give back.
but only if we get if we can somehow if we can get 1 million in the same day.
I would match if we gave back.
If we got 1 million in the same day, Hank, would you be willing to play golf with 3 AWLs?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's all
You
right.
just described Hank's entire summer.
Yeah, so we got something. Yeah,
I'll
we
do
got
the same
something.
thing.
Okay, so you
Oh,
match.
Jake's matching. Okay.
You guys-
I will not match.
I'll
Come
double.
on.
I'll
I
double.
will
I'll
not
do
match.
it twice.
I will not match that. I'll pay for a round of golf for 4 AWLs. How about that? They can pick the course. Most expensive course in the world. I don't even know what it is.
Pebble Beach is up there.
Pebble Beach is probably up there. Masters. I
500?
have to get I have to join Augusta. Yeah, so let's get all those. Let's do it. Let's bump it.
I sent the deck.
You sent the deck. This is the deck. Ghost hunting with Big Cat and Jersey Jerry. There's only one page.
Yeah, it's a slide. I mean, it's
That's not a
it's a
presentation.
1 page.
I like
I
this.
presented.
This is really nice.
Thank you, Jake. Very cool.
Okay. When Jersey Jerry decided to move to Chicago, he didn't account for extra people that would be in his house, or should we say ghosts. After experiencing
There should be a question
paranormal
mark after
activity,
Ghost, Hank.
Jersey Jerry had to make some moves. Who's he going to call? Big Cat.
Bar.
I like the
That's a bar.
italics, too.
Wait, but why am I
Extra people.
Why am I italicized?
Who's it gonna call?
Big Cat should be bolded.
Cat.
Is my
Big
only
Cat.
criticism.
Did you write this yourself?
I didn't ask for criticism.
You didn't write this.
There should be a question mark after the word ghost.
You didn't ask for criticism.
Did you proofread this?
Yeah.
Hank, did you write this yourself?
No.
Join
That's some
Big
help.
Cat as he hires a ghost hunter to accompany him to Jersey Jerry's house and connect with the guests from the afterlife. Over the course of 2 episodes, Big Cat and Jersey Jerry will bring their audience along for the ride while they try to navigate a scary situation just in time for spooky season. Ooh, we should do, maybe we do like a series called Spooktober.
Oh, I like that. We can do something Halloween for Sam Howell.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Do they play on Halloween? I have to
Oh.
put a bet in right now. If they
Oh,
do.
Howleen. All right, so what else we got? We got Ronald
on
Acuna
Tuesday.
almost getting accosted at the Rockies.
Yeah, he kind of did get accosted a little bit. Bad look for Colorado security.
Yep.
It was tough. They had 2 guys run onto the field. One of the security guards went up, tried to tackle the dude that was hugging Ronald Acuna, fell on the ground. Then the second guy came up, shoved Ronald Acuna, who got tabletopped over the security guy. When I first saw the picture, I thought that these 2 guys went on the field and just to do a tabletop.
Yeah.
Which plays on the elementary school playground, one of the all-time moves,
Oh, yeah.
tabletopping your buddy. To an all-star outfielder.
Ooh, rank the
probably
moves
not.
real quick.
The flying burrito is pretty good. Where you just
tabletop.
jump sideways into him.
I go number 3 tabletop, number 2 pull out the chair,
Number 1 pantsing
with balls flapping out.
Yeah.
If you can get the full pants where the underwear goes to, the hardest I'll ever laugh.
We didn't mention wedgie. I feel like wedgie, that was a big thing in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it was a huge thing on sitcoms throughout the 90s.
So, yeah, Steve Urkel got wedgied.
All the time. Everybody got wedgied. It was like, oh, we don't have a scene to write in this elementary school sitcom. Wedgie. We put a wedgie.
Or stuff in a locker.
Or a swirly.
Swirly.
Yeah, but that doesn't really happen so much in my experience.
Yeah, like where's the lovable loser? And then he's hanging up.
Yeah,
by a wedgie.
From a tree.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for getting me down, guys.
I got fully pants in high school.
with boxers?
Pick up basketball game with my friends. So it was 10 of my friends.
And your dick flopped out?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
I was like,
so
"What the-"
funny.
Yeah.
Were you having a good day or a bad day?
I don't remember how I was shooting that day, but it was
I
just in the middle. It was like in
not
transition.
talking about how you're shooting.
Who did it to you?
Was it?
My
Were
friend
you?
Jesse.
Were you
Still
embarrassed?
friends?
Yeah, we're still friends.
Were you embarrassed at the time?
I've never reacted quicker.
Yeah, my dream is to get pants when, for whatever reason, I'm just hanging nice and low. Mm-hmm. And then
Having a good dick day?
A good visual. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was referring to with Jake. He took it as, how was his basketball performance? But
No.
if I'm having a good dick
Oh.
moment and I get pants, I am going to be so happy.
Very hard to do though when you're playing sports. You get the sports stick where your dick
Yep.
like ends up like a tic tac because your body needs the blood in other parts of your like my heart is like, hey, we need more blood. Where can we get it from? Oh, your tiny little dick.
It gets resorbed into your body.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. So I think I did that. I think I might have pants Brandon Walker full dick out. It's a little bit less funny when it's an adult because then it's like, oh, workplace harassment.
I would say in terms of funny rankings, it would go a kid pantsing an adult, number 1.
Yeah.
Very funny. A kid pantsing another kid, also very funny. Adult pantsing an adult, not funny. An adult pantsing a kid, very not funny.
Yeah. Very, very not funny. And this all started because we were talking about Hank's wonderful deck.
He's got a great deck.
Yeah.
He's having a great deck day.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we had, Acuna, who was very chill about it afterwards. Shout out Ronald Acuna. Having an unbelievable year. Seems like the best guy ever. He's like, yeah, they wanted a picture. I didn't really know what to do.
Yeah, it's not the first time that 2 guys from the stands have just run down and accosted a Braves outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
The famous Hank Aaron moment when he's
Yes.
running around the bases after breaking Babe Ruth's record.
Stealing
I
it.
found out today from Big T that those guys almost got shot. They almost got assassinated.
Oh, wow.
Because there were snipers in the crowd. Hank Aaron was getting all sorts of death threats. So they thought those 2 guys were threats. They didn't pull the trigger. They just wanted to pat him on the back.
That would have been...
Number 1 sports highlight of all time.
Yeah, that would have... Darren Ravel would have been tweeting it every day.
Yeah.
4K. Watch these guys' brains get blown out. We also had the Ryder Cup announced. People are mad.
Well,
Not
'cause
me.
We have a South African on the team.
Yeah, we have... so the Ryder Cup is Scotty Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, Xander Schauffele, Max Homa, Patrick Cantley, and Brian Harmon are the top 6, which is very funny when I think the PGA announced the captain's picks, and everyone's like, where's Scotty?
Yeah.
It's like, well, he made the team. And then the captain's picks were Brooks, Morikawa, Sam Burns, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, and Ricky Fowler. People are mad about JT. They're mad. They're calling it a boys club. He
He's
didn't
got
have a
the
great year.
resume.
Here's the thing. JT's a killer in international play. That's a fact, Hank. You want
When
me-
he's good. He has not been playing good.
Career international play records, Ryder Cup and President's Cup. Cam Young 1-2-1, Keegan Bradley 6-5-1, Lucas Glover 2-6-1, Justin Thomas 16-5.
Yeah. How do you say no to that, Hank? That's a resume pick.
Dude,
Yeah, but when he was
gets
16 and
up,
5, he was a top 10, top 20 golfer
But he
in the world.
gets up for the big moments.
He's like
You
Carmelo
want
He was
that
already
guy.
up.
What do you mean?
When he was playing in those matches, he deserved to be on the team because he was one of the best golfers in the world, and he played like one of the best golfers in the world. He's not playing good golf right now.
When was the last Ryder Cup? It was 2 years ago? Okay. Justin Thomas has won a major since then.
Yeah, I don't like
I'm
it.
standing
I don't
with
like
Justin
it.
Thomas.
I like
We'll
Justin
let him
Thomas,
know. We'll
but
let him
That's
know.
fine. I just feel bad for, Keegan and the guys. I like Keegan a lot too.
I like Keegan too, but
He's been playing better golf. Even Bryson shot at 58.
It's a
just 'cause he doesn't
team-
live.
it's-
He's been on the Ryder Cups before.
but it's a team sport. For the golf is an individual sport. Now you're in a team setting. He's the ultimate team guy. He's friends with all these guys, and he's a fucking killer when he plays in international play.
Just a lot of pressure.
And guess what?
That's what he's shown that he can do.
16-5.
without the entire, fan base and world being like, you shouldn't be on this team. You better perform. I'm just worried.
No,
it's a lot
I
of
think
pressure.
he's going to
It's a lot
perform
of pressure.
because everyone's like,
I hope he
shouldn't
does.
be on the team.
I hope he does.
I just wish Patrick
would be a
Reed
great
was on the
story.
team.
It's just-
I love it when they have to pretend to be friends with Patrick Reed.
Yeah, Patrick Reed being not on the team and Justin Thomas being on the team is the greatest vibes change of all time. Everyone likes each other. That's what we need. We need leaders. We need guys who've done it. Come on, Hank. You want to win this thing or no?
I do. I just
Sounds like you don't.
it's a risky pick in my opinion.
Okay. Well, let's make a bet. Justin Thomas will win his matches.
How many solo matches does he get?
I don't know.
I don't know the format.
Who cares?
I do. That's where I'm not as well versed on the Ryder Cup or how
Obviously.
significant the
You didn't know
but
Justin Thomas was 16-5.
obviously him and Spieth are boys and they never lose. So that, I guess if that makes sense.
So you'd want to put it in a team that never loses.
I get it. It's a risk.
He's a killer.
He's a killer.
But imagine if
The
he
final day
performs
is 12
badly.
singles matches, so
Imagine
everyone
if he
plays.
performs
Okay.
badly.
He
Everyone's
won't.
gonna be like, why
He's
would
a
you
killer.
pick a person who didn't even make the FedEx Cup playoffs?
He's a killer.
He's done it before, though.
Why didn't he kill this season?
Because it wasn't international
Because
play.
he's changed his game to more accommodate the international play style.
Mm-hmm. He's a killer.
All right.
They
I
have,
think
the,
you're forgetting the part that he is a killer.
they have the bigger key.
Yeah.
I hope they win. I hope Justin Thomas proves me wrong.
I actually hope they lose, and Justin Thomas is the only one that wins. And it's like we could have used 12 Justin Thomases.
It's so funny to imagine golfers like getting up for international play. Like in other sports, if you're playing for your country, most sports are more conducive to like being aggressive, showing a lot of emotion, getting running on adrenaline. In golf, it's like almost the exact opposite, where you want somebody that's more mellow, that doesn't even care that they're playing.
Yeah,
for
but
their
making
country.
a big putt, you can unleash.
You can't unleash. Yeah, we've seen some guys unleash in the past.
Yeah.
Big time unleash. I have a question about cut day. Last thing before we do hot seat cool throne. When did it become a thing that people just tweet out like a star player gets cut? Have you guys seen this trend?
I mean, I just fucking walked outside and Nicky Smokes goes, see the Patriots cut Matthew Judon because of his comments about Ariana Grande? I was like, no.
Yeah,
I don't even have to look. I know
saw
that
one
didn't
that
happen.
was like,
and he walked by, he's like, yeah, that was, I think I got got.
Oh, you got the prankster got pranked? Like that.
You don't
Someone
say.
tweeted like the Chiefs cut Patrick Mahomes. Why?
Oh, doing a fake thing?
Yeah, but it's not even.
It might be for engagement. Did
I
you see
guess.
Elon sent out a warning?
Oh,
saying,
what's
like,
his
if
warning?
you manipulate the system, like your account's going to be suspended.
Whoa.
How does he manipulate? How would one manipulate the system?
Doing a bunch of polls
Said,
on
please-
who will win each conference
Please note
in
that any
college
attempts
football?
to manipulate the creator compensation program on this platform will result in an account suspension.
Oh, like stealing tweets?
I don't know what that means, but it seems like if you're just blatantly just tweeting just to get impressions, he's
Why else
watching
would
you.
you be tweeting?
Yeah, what else are you tweeting for?
Love of the game.
I'm just that's how I interpret
That's
it.
how I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want Elon to keep paying us.
So stop manipulating the system.
So stop tweeting Patrick Mahomes got cut.
Didn't
Because
happen.
even though you know it's fake, you still see it and you're like, wait, what?
we
It's
should
an
si-
impression.
we
Yeah.
should sign that guy. Bring
Patrick
him in.
Mahomes?
Yeah. Like when I see that, my first instinct is like, well, if he did get cut, let's bring him in for a workout.
Yeah. Let's at least see what he's
Let's
got.
see if he's got anything left in the tank.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
There's also DeMar Hamlin made the team.
Oh, good for him.
So yeah, good for him. I think his comeback player of the year odds are at like minus 280 right now.
Wow.
Odds on favorite to win.
Do you think that they sat in a meeting?
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't.
I think they had a conversation that was like, here are two options. One, we cut DeMar Hamlin. Two, we cut him, but we give him a job as like supervisor of morale, supervisor of not dying.
Yeah.
For the Buffalo Bills, and just keep him around and pay him.
Supervisor of alive.
Yeah.
You always need one of those.
Senior
guys.
vice president of refibrillation.
Being alive. Yeah, that. I mean, he probably made the team because he is a good depth guy for them.
Well, maybe his clone's better than he was.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be a big upgrade.
What if he picked up a couple tricks when he was in the lab?
That would be interesting. Like some people have a stroke and then they come back and they can play the piano
Yeah.
out of nowhere. What if DeMar comes back and now he's like he can read an offense and know exactly when to time a blitz.
He's like
You can see the snap count
Mel
before it
Gibson
happens.
and what women want,
Yeah.
what quarterbacks want.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we should write that movie.
That's pretty good.
Holy fuck. We should actually write, because like the DeMar Hamlin movie, I don't really know if there's enough to write it now, but if we got our hands on the script and we changed the ending to it, where he got a supernatural power.
He can hear everything that the quarterbacks are thinking.
Yeah.
Abilities.
I mean, imagine him going up against Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
That'd be pretty gross.
Yeah, or going up against Kirk Cousins. He's like, fuck, why is he talking about Kohl's? Why is he talking about a sweater at Target? We're in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Philip Rivers, I'd love to hear his thoughts.
Dag nabbit. I should be impregnating my wife again.
Yeah. Later tonight, I'm gonna put another seed in her.
She's ovulating right now. You know I'll play better.
All right, let's do Hot Seat Cool Throne. College football is back, and this season you can take your whole tailgate to the next level with Coors Light Chill Throne, the only throne specifically designated for tailgating all game day long. We've seen this thing. It is awesome. We're going to have it in studio. Saturday's just got a whole lot chiller with features like Bluetooth speakers, stadium turf footrest, a cup holder that chills your Coors Light to a perfect 36 degrees Fahrenheit, and a Coors Light can tap draft to our one for a pal. The Chill Throne is the innovation every tailgate has been waiting for. They really have made the perfect chair for football fans. So let your friends bring the grill, the flat screens, and the cornhole. You bring the chill with the Coors Light Chill Throne. Be the MVP of your entire tailgate and buy your throne on September 2nd at shop.CoorsLight.com/chillthrone, or stay tuned for the PMT Chill Throne auction on eBay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a Chill Throne in studio in our office for the first month of football season. One of us, lucky enough, is going to get to sit in it while we watch football. It is the perfect chair to watch football in. So the PMT Chill Throne will be on auction, the one that we sit in, on eBay on September 28th. Game day will never be the same. Coors Light's the best beer in the world. We all know that. It's the coldest beer. It's the most delicious beer. And now they've created the greatest place to sit and watch games. It is the Chill Throne. Did I mention that it has Bluetooth speakers, a stadium turf footrest? I think I did, but it is awesome. So the Coors Light Chill Throne is going to be on sale September 2nd at shop.CoorsLight.com/chillthrone. That's shop.CoorsLight.com/chillthrone, or stay tuned for the PMT Chill Throne auction on eBay on September 28th. Game day will never be the same thanks to Coors Light. Okay, Hot Seat Cool Throne, Hank.
My hot seat is the NBA.
Uh-oh. China.
No, track and field star.
Oh.
Noah Lyles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know about Noah.
Yeah, everyone knows Noah. He was doing an interview where he basically asked, why do they call the NBA the world champion? World champion of what? They only play in America. And there was it was kind of an embrace debate, I guess.
Huh.
Is NBA the world champion, or are they just the U.S. champion?
Have the Nuggets beaten like the Series A team from Slovenia? No.
Well, you have the Raptors, so it's
That is
international.
true.
That's
It is
true.
international.
Did the Nuggets beat Victor Wembanyama's team in France?
No,
The Mets.
they did not.
They have not beaten the Mets yet.
Did the Nuggets beat UConn?
They did not.
Right. So good point. Yeah, this is the dumbest debate ever, especially when you consider all the best players in the world playing the NBA.
This is track and field being like, please like my sport.
Yeah. And then you think about some of those Spurs teams. Remember the Spurs when they won maybe their last title and all the dudes had their home country's flags? There was like 15 different flags.
Yeah, the Nuggets famously only represent the United States.
Yes.
All their good players come from the USA.
This is one of those
But-
cases where a guy's trying to say something deep and then he says it. We call it an acho, and he says it, and then when it comes out of his mouth, he's like, yeah, take that, guys.
Here's a quote, though. This is from someone in 2010. It doesn't make any sense for an NBA team to call themselves world champions. I don't remember anybody playing anybody outside of our borders to get that tag. Greg Popovich. 2010.
But he did play outside of the borders. He played the Raptors.
Yeah, but, everyone was kind of roasting him, and I agree. But then you see the quotes from Greg Popovich saying the same thing.
Yeah, he probably was on the Vino.
You should be allowed to challenge a team, though. There should be, if you're like an Italian basketball team, you should be allowed to challenge the Nuggets. If you beat them, then you're world champions. If you lose, your team is folded.
That should be the plan, but like a relegation plan.
You're talking about a Super League.
Or the midseason tournament.
Yeah.
Bringing
Cup.
all the champs.
NBA
like
Cup.
that.
Yeah.
I like
My
that.
other question from this, not a soccer guy, you guys are, thankfully. What is the best soccer league? Like if there was in this
The Champions League.
That's Saudi Arabia.
The Champions League is the best teams from each league playing each other. So if there
so
were
they can call themselves world champs.
So if there was a comparable league, so say if the NFL, if there was a comparable league in like England, American football, and they were really, really good, they would have basically how the Champions League works is every single league, like your EPL, the league in France, the Bundesliga from Germany, the Spanish league, all the leagues in Europe, their best 4 teams play in a tournament during the season concurrently. That's when you see like Tuesday and Wednesday games. That's Champions League.
So Hank, in a relation to United States sports, it's kind of like college football.
A little bit,
They've
yeah.
all got their own, like it's the different divisions spread across our country. Theirs is spread across Europe. And so the best teams from each conference then go into a Final Four, and then the winner of that is the national champion here. The winner of that is the UEFA Champions League champion over in Europe.
But it's hard to say which league is the best because like the EPL is probably the deepest, but then like Bayern Munich or PSG or Real Madrid or Barcelona when they had Messi, like they would win the Champions League. So maybe the best teams in a different league, but the best league overall, I think it's the EPL.
Probably the EPL. Definitely
top
not
to bottom.
MLS.
Yeah, MLS should get in the Champions League.
That would be awesome. I would love to
We
see
get
that.
fucking smoked. Okay, good question, Hank. Talking soccer.
Yeah.
And then what was your cool turn?
Oh, my cool throne is Tiffany Gomez.
Yeah, she's
our
back.
queen.
She's flying.
She's back.
Our
She's back on the
queen.
planes.
She's so fucking
She's
hot.
back in the. Well, she did an interview. She was, playing coy. It was like a little TMZ interview.
That's what she does,
Ran up
though.
on her at the airport, and she said she, she didn't know what she saw. She was kind of not giving answers on what she saw on the back of that plane, but she did say that an in-depth interview is going to have to happen. So
Come on the show, Tiffany.
Let's
please.
go, Tiffany.
I-
in person only.
I invited her on the show. I have not heard back from her.
Mm-hmm.
We would love to talk to you about anything, really. Just be in the same room as you.
I also like that Tiffany Gomez is definitely not an industry plant. Like this isn't a setup to make someone famous because when she did her initial video, then she did a post and she was didn't have shoes or socks on. She was just giving away her feet for free online.
It's day one mistake.
That is a rookie mistake, Tiffany. You got to make the boys pay for those feet.
anyone with management, that's
You gotta
Put some
gotta
socks
cover
on.
those feet up and be like, listen, Tiffany, those puppies, we get $50K a pop on each one.
She should become an air marshal. We should just put her on one plane a day.
Imagine if she was TSA, I'd
Yeah.
bring so many drugs and guns in my pockets.
We should put her on one plane a day, and she gets to kick off one person from each flight who's not real.
I like that. Yeah, real or not real? What a game show!
Yeah, Tiffany, come play real or not real with us.
It's like
We'll also judge.
it's like cake or not. You know how everything's cake. Mm-hmm. People just go. You cut through stuff.
I think they're real.
We just cut through people. Oh shit! Whoops, that guy was real.
they're
He's bleeding out.
I've seen the videos. They're definitely real.
Yeah.
And they're spectacular.
Then my other cool throne is Bolero. Our friends at over at Bolero, they are
Yes.
now carrying part of my cheesesteaks.
Plug God.
140 locations. Plug God.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got you, Jake.
What did I say yesterday when they asked me for a comment?
It was a great
I
comment.
said it was
wish-
a perfect strike. Yeah.
who you gonna call? Big Cat.
Yeah. Yeah. Bolero. Part of my cheesesteak, Bolero. Great friendship.
So, fun fact about Bolero, their director of food and beverage was my freshman year roommate at JMU.
That's
Wow.
Didn't realize that in-
So this is a
Smart
little
guy.
nepotism.
Didn't realize that until we did the first Bolero thing, and I was like, Jeff, you can't tell anybody anything that I ever did.
Yeah.
That's
But
the
please
rule.
put our cheesesteaks in your bowling alleys.
Yes.
No, Bolero is awesome. Bowling is awesome. Bowling is one of those things that every time we do it, we're like, why don't we do this more?
Yeah.
Why don't we bowl more?
a
Bowling
league
is
in the
so
winter.
much fun. We
They're-
should start a league in the winter.
They're a total strike, and there won't be any left to spare.
Yes. Like it. Okay. Good job. Cool thrones, hot seats. You did everything.
Nice job, Hank.
Thanks.
Crush it. And you got a great deck. My hot seat is Spanish soccer. More soccer talk today. So the president of the Spanish Soccer Federation got in a little hot water after the Women's World Cup. He kissed one of his players on the lips as she walked across the stage. He claimed it was consensual. She has since come out and said there was nothing about that was consensual.
Okay.
FIFA has suspended him, and now he is he's denying all the accusations. He's got a sexual harassment
It was on video.
thing. Yeah. So, but
Okay.
he's still saying that was consensual.
Got it.
Now, where it gets interesting is that guy's mom has now entered the fray. She's engaging in a hunger strike inside of a church to protest all the bad stuff that she claims they're doing to her son. So she's saying that she's describing the media scrutiny as inhumane hounding of her son, and she's calling on Vanessa Ruiz and Hermoso, who was kissed, to tell the truth about the kiss. So this guy's mom believes him. That's a news flash. Like, of course, your mom's going to try to support you. But the hunger strike is ongoing right now inside of the Spanish church, trying to take the heat off of the president of the Spanish Soccer Federation.
Okay, let's watch this hunger strike. She just needs to come out and say that we always kiss on the lips. Like, if she has video of adult mom with adult son kissing on the lips all the time, you might have a little wiggle room.
Well, after every good show that we do on Part of My Take, Dave kisses us on the lips one by one as we walk out. That's just a reward for a job well done.
Our birthdays, 12:01.
Our birthdays, we kiss. We kiss at midnight. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with this guy. But then also their coach was in trouble during the World Cup because celebrating a goal, he reached out and he grabbed one of his assistant coach's boobs. It might just
Same
be,
coach?
It might just different. This is a coach and the president of the Spanish Soccer Federation.
These guys are touchy-feely.
This Spain is giving Italy a real run for their money in terms of pervert or Spanish.
Yeah.
That might be the new segment.
It's by Barcelona.
Perverto, her breath with a thuple. So that's my hot seat. My cool throne is Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles on the cool throne. He is living his lifelong dream of working construction. So he's getting a house built for himself, and he asked if he could join the crew that's building his house and work construction. Why are you giving me this look?
Where'd you hear this?
Billy Football wrote a blog about it.
Right. So Gaz tweeted a text that he got saying this. Blake Bortles told us this on Pardon My Take a year ago.
In October.
Oh, that he was still working construction?
That he was doing exactly this.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. So it was Gaz. Basically, someone listened to Pardon My Take, texted Gaz the exact story Bortles told us, and then Billy blogged it. Which, again, Billy was in the room for when Blake Bortles told us this.
I got Billied.
He said, we're like, what are you doing these days? He's like, well, we're building a new house, and I get bored sometimes, and I go see if I can help the guys out.
Okay, Billy butt cracked me. What
yeah,
can I say?
Well, when Gaz tweeted, I was like, wait, what? Bortles told us this.
What's breaking again? It broke to me twice.
That's why we were giving you that face. We're like, I thought maybe you were doing it being like.
No, I got rebroke. I got rebroke on this news.
Okay,
yeah.
No, he told us this.
Oh, also, Blake Bortles is retiring from football.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. I thought he was going to be in camp this year. My other cool throne is Boltman.
Yes.
Chargers unofficial super fan. Well, he's official super fan. But he stopped by the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Sunday night, and he paid respects to Junior Seau's bust in the Hall of Fame. It was a very funny picture of Boltman looking solemnly at Junior Seau's face. And Boltman is nothing if not civically engaged. We've seen him at town council meetings. We've seen him addressing the owners of the team from the podium. Boltman is he's a legend in the superfan game, and it's very funny to imagine Boltman staring solemnly at Junior Seau when you know that Junior Seau's face is staring back at the sunglasses face with a menacing grin that Boltman always has.
It was incredible.
And so
just a beautiful picture.
Our boy Clue Haywood replied with a Photoshop that he made of Boltman observing the Vietnam Wall in D.C. I'm sure that we're going to get Boltman Photoshops are going to be hot in the streets. I mean,
yeah, they are.
Just
big time.
Keep that in the back of your head. Boltman Photoshops. I'm buying stock on those right now.
Oh, breaking news.
Blake Bortles working construction.
Pop for Jonathan Taylor.
Oh,
Per
He's
Shefty.
getting popped. Okay. This is a game of who's
That's
going to
it.
blink first.
damn. So he's not going to get traded because he's
not
not going to
going-
be out for 4. He's going to be out for 4 weeks.
Why? Here's a dumb question. Why don't the Colts just put him on the active roster?
You have to pay him.
Yeah, but not that much, right?
Why wouldn't they?
Just hope that he shows up for day one.
But they'd have to pay him.
Yeah, but that's what I would do. I would put him on the active roster. Be like, maybe he'll change his mind before week 1.
No, well, he can't. If he's on the pup, he can't play.
Yeah,
Yeah, for the first 4 weeks.
but that's not what I was saying. I was saying just
I
put
was
him.
correcting Billy. I was quoting Billy saying, please credit the Pardon My Take episode that you were on in October.
Okay, Billy, I fucked up too. All right,
Okay.
but
sorry.
yeah, I don't know what to do with Jonathan Taylor if you're the Colts. I think you just got to hope that he shows up. I think you got to say
He's
you're going
gonna
to be a
show
running
up.
back.
He's going to show up. He'll show up.
Yeah.
All right, pop for Jonathan Taylor. All right, my hot seat, cool throne. My hot seat is the Mets for doing a highlight video of Max Scherzer when he was back in New York last night.
It's classy.
Very classy, tough look. Mets fans did boo in person, but I did have some Mets fans being like, they do these tribute videos for everyone. That's ridiculous. I know that they won a bunch of games last year. It didn't amount to anything. You can't do, especially a guy who left under what didn't feel like great terms. You can't do a video for him. That's insane.
Yeah. Did the Celtics ever give Isaiah Thomas his video?
I think so, right?
That was
I actually don't.
That was like a month-long storyline we were all paying attention.
That was
Yeah.
depressing. I don't think it ever happened because he got cut.
Damn. So either way, Max
Shout out Isaiah
Scherzer got
Thomas, GOAT.
a tribute video, which was very awkward. My cool throne, I have two. The first is this guy who does a Notre Dame podcast, Vince D'Addario, who seemingly shit his pants live recording. He said afterwards he got 2 cramps. That's why he ran out.
Just
looking
kidding,
like he
yes, I
shit his
did.
pants.
Yeah,
They
crap.
did give it to him. Listen, we stand with anyone who shits their pants. It happens.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's just a cramp, man.
Yeah. He probably was drinking a bunch of Guinness on Saturday.
It's an internal cramp. Everybody deals with them.
Yeah. I shit my pants after drinking a lot of Guinness once.
What do you want the guy to do? You
Yeah.
want him to just stay in the room?
No, you can't. You can't. And then my other cool throne is the White Sox. It's been a very bad year for the White Sox. The team was supposed to be good. They have been very bad. Jerry Reinsdorf's been teasing selling the team, possibly it moving to Nashville, possibly Arlington Heights. And then a gun went off the other day in the outfield in the bleachers during a game. Now, the reason why I have him on the cool throne is we got some more details of it. And I'm a firm believer that if your team is going to have a bad season, make it so bad it's a circus and you can just laugh at it. And that's where the White Sox have gotten to, because per Peggy Kaczynski, who's a great reporter for ESPN 1000, said the shooting at Guaranteed Rate Field during a White Sox game was indeed an accidental discharge by one of the women grazed by the bullet. She reportedly snuck the gun in past metal detectors, hiding it in the folds of her belly fat.
I don't know how that works anatomically. Like, to be able to support an entire gun in the folds of your belly fat, it's got to be a small gun.
I mean, it has to be a small gun, but
Yeah.
that is
You gotta
that
be fat.
very fat. The White Sox have officially reached the level of that's funny. Like,
That's-
they're doing funny shit. It's such a train wreck of a season. A belly fat gun, like, you'll just know that, like, oh yeah, remember that season, the belly fat gun?
Do you think she intentionally brought the gun, or you think like she was walking in and she's like, "Fuck, I have this gun in my purse and I don't want to like get rid of it."
Oh, I thought you were saying like she forgot that she had the gun in her belly fat already.
No, like you walk in, you're like, "Oh fuck, I have to go through security."
Mhm. Oh fuck! I brought a giant tool set to the airport. My first time flying first class.
Exactly.
She's just finding quarters and, like, hot dogs.
I think it's not beyond the realm of possibility that she had the gun on her bed for protection, and she rolled over in the middle of the night. It got stuck in her belly fat, and then she didn't realize that the gun was still in her belly fat when she walked into the game.
she woke up, went to the game, was like, fuck, my belly fat gun's here.
You know what's almost more embarrassing is that the gun that was jammed into her belly fat went off, and she didn't really hit herself.
Yes.
She just got grazed.
Yes.
If your gun it's like a Plaxico Burress situation. It's funny that the gun went off in his sweatpants and he shot himself.
Right.
This woman didn't even really shoot herself. It just grazed her.
Yeah, and it's also, if you have a belly fat gun, that means you definitely have a gun that doesn't fit in your belly fat that you would never bring to a game.
What's the charge on that? Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Your real
Like,
gun.
Yeah, your real gun. You're like, oh, this is not. I can't conceal this one in my belly fat. I'll have to keep this in properly stowed away in the gun box.
I could see John Morant accidentally shooting himself during a game.
Yeah, he needs to get fatter. He needs James Harden.
James Harden.
James
yeah.
Harden definitely.
But yeah, it's an embarrassing situation. Probably why we didn't learn the full story until just now.
Yeah.
I would love to see the police interrogation tapes where they sit her down or wheel her in or whatever it is and ask her, okay, we think we know what happened here. It was in your belly fat, wasn't it?
So how did you get this in? It's the perfect crime.
It really is.
It's the belly fat. The belly fat probably, it's like a the belly fat stopped the metal detector.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so when she walked through, did they have to wander down and she was like, that's my IUD.
Yeah, that's my
So,
belly
you know.
fat. My belly fat sometimes goes off.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake, your hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat's AI. AI is trying to squeeze out journalism. I don't know if you guys saw this story, but
Allen Iverson?
no.
Oh.
Andre Iguodala.
Yeah. So they're having the Columbus Dispatch.
What's AI?
Artificial intelligence.
Oh.
They're having the Columbus Dispatch write AI sports stories. And one of them was so robotic that they reverse it.
So that sounds like AI just killed itself.
Well, my hot
AI is on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it can't do the job.
not a big J.
correct.
Got it.
This is a hard industry, and they're just trying to squeeze out more of us.
Yeah, it's been going on for a while, where a lot of newspapers have been using AI to write high school football updates have been done by AI.
That's what this was.
Yeah, so
but they're pausing it.
This was just a really shitty AI program that they hired to do it. If you want a job done, do it right. Pay for the premium AI service so nobody will know that's a robot that does it.
Or just let journalists do it.
Or just let a human being do it.
Exactly.
You need that human touch.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually
standing
okay
up for
with, I'm
journalism.
okay with AI. I don't know. If we all just don't have to work.
Well, I'm okay. I'm okay with AI insofar as that I want AI to know that I'm on its side for when it does take over.
Right.
Then it'll like me.
And if AI can be like, hey, AI, you do my job, I'll just chill. I'm okay with that. I think. It's probably a big mistake.
We should smash all the computers. That's what I think.
That works. My cool
There
throne
should be a
is
day in the United States where nobody uses computers. They turn off the internet from
that would be
coast to coast.
awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, go dry.
Damn. They're like divorces, everything would just be a problem.
Or we're just really great for one day.
Yeah, that's true. Just be optimistic.
My cool throne sister Jean. She threw out
Yeah.
the first pitch at the Cubs game, which
Terrible,
no was a
terrible
ball.
pitch.
Slop.
I'd take that to was it no disrespect?
I would knock that out of the park.
I'd knock that out of the park.
I actually had a different. I've been a Sister Jean hater for a few years. When she wound up and then she threw it underhand, I was completely fooled. She was out there throwing junk.
Yeah, no, slop. It's gross.
Yeah, well, I don't think I could hit it. I think
Celebrating her 104th birthday.
I would back her down in the low post. I would dunk on her, but I think she might be able to strike me out.
Dude, Sister Jean is so old. I was scrolling Twitter, saw it, and I read it as 140, and I didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
Like, she will live to be 140.
She's a witch.
If you get past 100, it's like, what's stopping you?
She is an absolute witch. My grandmother used to tell me nuns are witches. Mm-hmm. I believed that for several years.
I also got a theory for you that you might want to work on, PFT. I don't think I've ever seen Virginia McCaskey, Bears owner, and Sister Jean in the same room.
That is interesting.
Huh. Just two
I'm gonna write
women just living over 100.
Girl bosses.
Girl bosses, just girl bossing their way around town.
Sister Jean, badass woman.
Yeah, she is the original girl boss. Because I don't know if history goes back far enough to find another one.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Okay.
She's the first woman.
She was the first woman. She is Eve. Okay. Let's get to our interview. We have Tom Fornelli. Then we're doing Kentucky Sports Radio Best of Callers, which were awesome. And then we'll do our Mount Rushmore and Guys on Chicks.
Tom Fornelli is being brought to you by Body Armor. Time for our interview with Tom, and shout out to Body Armor. Body Armor Sports Drink helps us stay hydrated throughout our interviews. We're the biggest guest in the world, packed with electrolytes and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Body Armor Sports Drink hydrates today's athletes during competition. More importantly, it hydrates us during interviews. You can buy some Body Armor today on Amazon. Check it out right now in stores and on Amazon. Shout out Body Armor. It's delicious. Strawberry banana, great flavor. Was it peach mango? That's another great one. Blue raspberry. They're all good. Love Body Armor. Check them out today. And now here's Tom Fornelli.
Okay, we now welcome on one of our favorite guests, and it's finally in person. It is the best college football writer online.
True.
Hank Lockwood.
Andy Staples doesn't write anymore, I don't think. Tom Fornelli in studio. Hank and Tom in the same studio for the first time ever.
Crazy.
Whoa. Tom, great to see you. Thank you for, I would say you were at least 5% of the move to Chicago. Is like, oh, well, like 3 times a year we can have Tom on in person.
I think that's pretty much the only reason you need to be back in Chicago. And honestly, since I've moved to the suburbs, this show is the only reason I've been back to Chicago in a couple months.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
You turned your back on the city?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm a suburbanite now. We're over it.
I'm going to say something, and don't take it the wrong way. I'm not coming on to you, but you look good.
You do look good.
You
Thank
lost
you.
weight?
I have not, but what I have been doing is golfing a lot. I've been, Hank stole my
You and Hank
identity.
are the same.
Fuck yeah.
Hank stole my identity, so I'm trying to steal his. I've been out golfing a lot this summer. Took my first lesson in April, so I just have a tan. That is really the only difference for somebody who works from home. I haven't had a tan like this in 3 or 4 years.
If you can't tone it, tan it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they say. All right, so we are on the precipice of the 2023 college football season. No better time. So let's start big picture. Realignment happened. All this bullshit happened. Are you? I'm personally more excited for this season than I've been in a long time, just because I think there's going to be weird like blood feuds and teams about to leave, and just kind of enjoy it before everyone breaks up. How are you feeling going into this season?
I'm kind of with you in that I'm looking forward to it because I do feel like this is the last season of college football resembling kind of what we've all grown up watching and rooting for, and it is going to change. But I'm also somewhat nonplussed simply because, like, Georgia has obviously won the last 2 national titles. They're probably going to win a third. Like, when I look at things going into the season and I look at Georgia's schedule, there is absolutely no way in hell they are not making the playoff.
Okay, but here's the one fun part, because you said it, with Georgia's schedule, we get to do an entire season of Georgia hasn't been tested yet.
No,
That's a fun thing.
But that's the thing. Georgia gets to the playoff and it doesn't really get tested. Like,
True.
the Ohio State game was great, and then you get to the title game against TCU, which is, there's the Cinderella story that everybody says can't happen in the college football playoff, and then they get 65-7. Was
You bet on TCU, right? You told America
No.
take the points.
No, I did not.
This isn't all.
Yeah, I did
This
actually.
will
Did
be
you really?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, it would be it's a smart bet, you could say. Like, everyone's gonna be betting on Georgia, but Georgia's so good that it doesn't matter what they set the spread. They're just gonna dominate.
It's going to be an all-time. Georgia's going to dominate everyone. I don't think they have a game on their schedule. Tennessee is kind of their toughest
But
game.
look what they did to Tennessee last year.
I know. So we will spend the entirety of this season debating, well, Georgia hasn't played anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be, and you're basically hoping that Georgia has just, I mean, you could make the argument, because this is now nitpicking, because they are a phenomenal team, is the disease of more going to take over for Georgia, where they've been there, they've done it twice, they're scheduled, they don't have those big games that will get like everyone ramped up for.
Mm-hmm.
Can they trip up somewhere?
So what you're saying
Auburn.
is, like, Georgia's biggest opponent is complacency.
It's
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, Georgia versus themselves.
It's
Maybe
true.
the media. We might have to put it on our shoulders.
We do, because we have been doubting Georgia. That's the one thing I think Kirby took from Saban, more important than recruiting or anything, is convincing your players nobody believes in you. Because I have seen it from the Georgia fan base already, because like 2 people in the SEC media poll picked Alabama to win the league. It's like, see, they don't believe in us.
No one believes in you, kids. Yeah, it's going to be funny, because if Georgia was a little bit worse, if they were like barely favored to win the national championship, then I don't think we could say like they haven't played anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just nobody that Georgia possibly could play for us to be like, wow, yeah, Georgia's battle test.
Well, that's part of it too, because you look at Georgia's schedule and you say, oh my God, they're going to win all of these games by 2 or 3 scores. It's so easy. But then if you put like Auburn with the same Georgia schedule, they're probably going 8-4. So it's not like it's a cakewalk. It's just, in comparison to Georgia, there really is nobody else in the country that you could put in front of them that's not within their own league, or Ohio State or Michigan or maybe USC this year. Although after what I saw from that defense last weekend, I'm not that high on the Trojans anymore. But it's one of those things. They are so fucking good that there really isn't anybody else that you have any kind of faith in beating them, even with a new quarterback.
Right.
So one more question about realignment. Is there a winner? Who's the winner and who's the loser from realignment?
The SEC and the Big Ten are winners, and television executives are winners, and
Good.
conference
I
commissioners
love
are
those guys.
winners.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
That's why I watch the sport.
I love it when the commissioner does his advertisement during the bowl game.
I mean, I will say I'm a winner in the sense that since I work for CBS, growing up as a Big Ten fan, watching Big Ten football, going to a Big Ten school, the fact that the Big Ten is now on CBS is actually something that is very exciting
That's
for me.
a big winner for you.
Exactly. So I'm a winner in that sense. I am a loser in that to get what I wanted, I had to add USC, UCLA, Washington, and Oregon.
Yeah.
You had to destroy college football.
Yeah.
We didn't have to add Washington, Oregon. We did them a favor.
No, they were on sale.
Yeah. The Rutgers is a winner too. Rutgers and Maryland.
Rutgers and Maryland are big time winners. I mean, they've got a ton of money from just being
Right place, right time.
yeah, like, oh, they got a lot of cable boxes.
Yeah. And James Gandolfini was on like Rutgers.
Ray
and
Rice.
I know Rutgers always gets shit on, but they really did. To say something nice about Rutgers, they used the minimal amount of success for the maximum amount of security.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
it's
they
just
played it perfectly.
Jim Delaney back in the day looked at Rutgers and said, hey, that's close to New York. You know what New York has a lot of?
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
We're
We
going
could
to
do
get
the
a
map.
bunch of
We do
money.
the Game of Thrones map where it goes all the way to the coast.
They love college football in New York
Oh,
City.
it's probably, I mean, you guys would know better than me, but it's
religion.
got to be the
It's
biggest
bourbon
sport in New York.
and college football.
Barbecue, bourbon, and college football.
That's
New
what we
York
do
City.
up there, man.
Yes. All right. So let's go big conference by big conference. So SEC Georgia, If not Georgia, then who?
LSU.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that the Alabama dynasty is dead, but I feel like it's dying, and it's not going well. I mean, Saban this week is standing in front of the media saying he's not going to release a depth chart for their game against, I think, Middle Tennessee.
Competitive advantage.
Because it's a competitive advantage, and it could it could distract players in the locker room to know what their job is, I guess.
That's a fact, yeah.
So that, to me...
It's an amoeba depth chart.
We don't tell Hank what day he's working until the day of.
No, I mean, Hank doesn't know when a weekend is. So... They bring in, it's like we don't know who Alabama's quarterback is yet. We mostly think it's going to be Jalen Milroe. But you look at that team, like they had Bryce Young the last few years. The guy who was the number one pick in the draft was one of the best players in the country. And they couldn't get past Georgia with him. And the roster talent-wise, like the one thing that Alabama was able to do during this dynastic run recruiting was they killed everybody on the lines of scrimmage, offensive line, defensive line. And they still have good players in those spots. But Kirby Smart and Georgia have better players. They have gotten more of those guys. And it's been kind of under-talked about in recent years that Alabama's offensive line the last few years, for Alabama standards, has sucked. They have not been able to run the ball, even with Bryce Young, and defenses having to trust that. And I look at LSU, they did a lot better than I anticipated in Brian Kelly's first year.
He's a really good coach. Terrible person.
Turns out he's a really good coach. Yeah. And Jaden Daniels was fantastic. Behind Jaden Daniels, they have Garrett Nussmeier, who some people believe is going to be very good himself if he ever has to go in and start. He's got a huge arm. They've got a bunch of talented receivers. They're very talented at running back. They've got good players on both the offensive and defensive line. The secondary, there's some question marks there that haven't been proven, but I give LSU the benefit of the doubt when it comes to producing defensive backs. So I just look at that division, and I think LSU is better than Alabama this year, and they're more likely to win the West. And I think if you get them to the SEC title game against Georgia, they've got a shot. They've probably got a better shot than anybody else in that conference of beating Georgia.
Okay.
Who's that offensive lineman that they just said was going to get the number 7 on LSU? Left tackle, I think.
What the hell? I don't know his name.
On the spot.
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot here. I do not know his name, but no, it's
you don't know the left tackle for LSU.
But he's getting number 7, best player in Louisiana, gets to rock number 7. But he's not allowed to wear number 7 on the field.
No, but Teddy Bridgewater can wear number 50, which, by the way, tangent, that just looked fucked up.
Will Campbell,
yeah.
Okay.
I think he should be allowed to actually wear the number 7.
I don't.
An offensive lineman wearing 7, just one.
I don't. No, I think offensive line is the one traditional position where, God damn it, we need to have a standard. All right,
yes.
You're a fat guy who moves pretty well. You need to be in a 60 or a 70. I don't want to see single digits on the offensive line. We're too classy. We're too smart. I speak as a former high school offensive lineman, so I know what I'm talking about. Leave that for the defensive linemen. They're the showboats. They're the guys who are trying to show off.
Just one big dude wearing number 7 would be cool.
It would
the rest
be cool.
of them have to wear in the 60s. Preferably 69 should be the left tackle. I think that should be like in soccer where the striker gets number 10.
9.
Yeah.
Number 9?
9.
Is that what it is?
That was 10.
No, 10 is the attacking midfielder kind of guy.
Oh, we do. Yeah,
that was
don't try to
soccer.
correct us.
Who's number 7? That's a defensive midfielder.
No, that's like a winger. That's Ronaldo.
I was thinking Jurgen Klinsmann.
What does Messi wear?
Messi wears 10.
Oh, interesting. The GOAT?
Yeah.
So we're right.
Yeah. But he's not a striker.
Well, he strikes.
What does Pulisic wear?
You don't know when he's going to strike.
Pulisic, I don't know what's he wearing with AC Milan.
What did David Beckham wear?
7, winger.
Oh, fuck, shit.
That's stupid. Who cares about soccer anyways?
Okay.
Did you see, by the way, when you said competitive advantage, do you see the Arizona Cardinals? They're declining
Yes.
to name a starter for a competitive advantage
Jonathan
against
Gannon.
the Washington Commanders. So we're either going to get Josh Dobbs or Clayton Tune. Mm-hmm. No, you don't know which one to prepare for.
Tune.
I think Clayton Tune's a good player. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be tough to game plan for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Not knowing who their quarterback
Yeah.
is.
That's one of those where you see it from an NFL coach. Like every year, there's a new coach, and you're like, that guy's not ready for the NFL.
No. That team is clearly trying to get the first pick. They want Caleb Williams more than anything.
Yes.
Yeah, they the way that they handled Hopkins' contract, I think they could have just waited a couple days and cut him, and instead they just said, "No, we'll cut him down. We'll just eat $11 million."
We got to use our cap space somehow. That's really what they're doing. There's a
Yes.
cap floor. You have to spend a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
That team is in tank mode. I just watched the Bears do it last year, so
Yep.
I know the moves.
All right, so let's talk Big Ten. I have a take. Top to bottom, Big Ten, strongest conference?
No.
But just say yes.
Yeah, for sure, but no.
All right, so maybe not top to bottom, but I do think Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan all could conceivably be in the college football playoff. And then you have, Iowa's always going to be good. Wisconsin could have a very good year with Luke Fickell changing everything. There's some salty teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That will keep it, the floor isn't just like falling out after like the top 3 teams.
I do think you're right at the top. Ohio State and Michigan, we know what they're going to be. Michigan's won the last couple of years. Ohio State is still Ohio State, reached the playoff last year in 8-down season. And then Penn State, I do think this is their best chance to win the Big Ten in a long time. Now, the problem is I still don't think they're as good as Michigan or Ohio State, but they do have at quarterback Drew Allar Sean Clifford didn't get a ton of respect. He was drafted by the Packers, so it's not like he sucked, but you look at the quarterbacks, and he was always the kind of guy, you look at Ohio State's with Justin Fields and CJ Strouds and all these NFL first-round picks. Michigan didn't really have the 5-star, but they've had good players. Penn State, I felt like, was the one team that was trying to convince itself that it was a national title contender while playing with a jag at quarterback,
right.
Just a guy. But I think Allar is the first guy really. McSorley was not ultra talented, but he had the moxie. I think Allar is the kind of guy who has that kind of attitude, but he's also really fucking good. Mm-hmm. So I think that could give them a step up because you look at the rest of that roster, their offensive line is fantastic. They have great running backs. They've got talented receiver. The defense is phenomenal. So if Allar clicks, that is a team that could win the East. It could win the Big Ten.
And they have the benefit of playing Michigan at home and Ohio State. They have to play in Columbus, but they always play Ohio State tough.
Yeah, they give Ohio State, until the last couple of years, obviously, but even then, it's like Penn State, even when they're bad, they step up and they gave Ohio State more problems in like the last decade than Michigan was for most of the part. So now, obviously, Michigan's taken over that role, but Penn State can't beat Michigan, though. That's the problem.
Right.
It's like when they play, they usually get the shit kicked out of them by Michigan. But no, I think my prediction was those 3 teams are all going 11-1.
Ooh.
They're going to split the series with each other. Like the home team's going to win every single one of those games, and it's going to come down to some weird draconian tiebreaker in the Big Ten bylaws to decide who wins the division. But I do think because of that, there's a very good shot that once again the Big Ten will get 2 teams into the playoff. It'll be whoever wins the East and whoever finishes in second.
They should just make the tiebreaker whoever puts up more points on Rutgers.
I think we did some research into this. I think it goes to the team that had the best schedule, like the win-loss of their their non-whatever opponents. And I do think, I can't remember who drew Northwestern. I think it was Penn State. They're fucked because of that, because Northwestern's probably not going to win a Big Ten game.
Yeah,
that's tough.
What about the West? Are you buying the Badgers? Are you buying the Dairy Raid?
I buy the Badgers long term. I don't.
That was hurtful what you just said.
I know Booster Cat, you went out and you bought a whole lot of players for your Badgers. You went out and you bought Luke Fickell. But I just think that what he's going to do with Phil Longo coming in, and I know that it gets overblown, they're going to run the air raid, the Dairy Raid. But when Phil Longo was at North Carolina, there were seasons where the Tar Heels had 2 running backs who rushed for 1,000 yards.
Right.
It's not like he doesn't know how to run the football. They're not going to be throwing it 80 times a game. But my only concern is to go from the transition of what Wisconsin always has been to what they're trying to be, even in the transfer portal era, it's really hard to do that in one offseason. Mm-hmm. So I think there are going to be growing pains. I think defensively they might take a slight step back because Jim Leonard's gone. He's at Illinois now. I don't know if you're aware of that big guy.
Turned his back on the
Wait,
family.
wait. He's a Wisconsin guy though.
Turns out he's an Illinois guy now.
That's
yeah.
crazy because I thought he was going to be the next head coach.
That's what I was told too. But
well, enjoy
Booster
Brett
Cat
Bielema.
stabbed him in the back.
Well, as soon as Kirk Ferentz finishes his 80-year contract, Brett Bielema, what does he have tattooed on his ankle?
An Iowa Hawkeye.
Oh,
logo.
Interesting. Okay, so
there
you go.
You didn't seem to care when he was winning Big Ten titles at Wisconsin.
Well, he was there for a little bit of time. Now you got your best coach ever.
Brett said at Big Ten Day media days, this is he's finishing.
Oh,
here.
he's never said that before.
No, he's never going to leave. No coach has ever said this is my dream job and I'm here forever.
I've made amends with Bielema. I like him again. There was a time when I was not so happy because the whole karma thing and it hurt me. But now I'm cool with him.
I love him because he's made Illinois good.
Yeah.
But no, back to Wisconsin. I think long-term Fickell's a fantastic hire for them. I think that they are going to win a fuck ton of games with him there because I think Luke Fickell is a very good coach. He got Cincinnati to the playoff, and then that team had 9 players taken in the NFL draft. He knows what he's doing. He's seen the blueprint. And I've seen people use the 6-6 year at Ohio State where he was the interim and they had a bunch of people suspended because of dumb penalties as he can't win in the Big Ten. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
I just think that this year Wisconsin's probably more likely to be 8-4 than it is 10-2 or 11-1.
Okay,
so I think you're going to have to wait on that.
Not 9 wins is what I would like.
I think if you win 9 games, it was a very good year. But
yes.
I like Iowa. I know it is fun to shit on Iowa for the offense, but it wasn't. that long ago. It was the 2020 season when Iowa scored 32 points per game. It's not like this is something that has not been happening for Iowa for a long time. It's the last couple of years they had a terrible quarterback who could not do anything. Like, I don't think there was anything schematically that Brian Ferentz was doing that kept Iowa from scoring points. They just didn't have the dudes.
So what's it going to be? Is Iowa going to finish with a higher points per game total or higher ranking in the top 25 at the end of the season?
Both. I think that this is, I mean, they're going to score, I'm on record, they're going to score 31 points per game, and I think they're
31.
Yeah.
I guess if you put in a punt return and a
No, the
punt
defense.
block.
No, the defense is totally going to play a part in that.
Tom, they
but
finished with 18.6 points per game last year.
I don't give a fuck. Go look at 2020. They scored 32 points per game.
I also don't give a fuck.
It was great betting on Iowa last year, being like, all right, if I'm laying a number, I know they need to score on defense or special teams, and then they would.
Yeah. Iowa, the years it has a decent quarterback and a tight end and a receiver, it scores points. So what do they go out in the portal? They get Cade McNamara from Michigan, who helped get them to the college football playoff a couple years ago. They get Eric All, a very talented pass-catching tight end who maybe he's not the George Kittle type of blocking tight ends that Iowa is used to, but he can, contribute in the passing game. And you get Caleb Brown, a transfer wide receiver who couldn't get on the field at Ohio State because, they've got an NFL roster at Ohio State, but is a very talented player himself. They have talent at the skill position that they haven't had in 3 years.
You didn't mention the fullback.
The fullback too, of course.
What's his name? Hayden Large.
Hey, it's
6'5", 300 pounds.
Yes.
Actually, Donald Trump.
name.
He's built like Donald Trump.
What a name.
Yeah,
He's
Hayden
6'3",
Large.
215.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to score a bunch of points, and I think they're going to win the West. I think they are the best team. They're the one I have the fewest questions about.
Interesting.
Damn it.
I did not see it going that way.
That hurts.
I
They have to play Wisconsin and Madison.
Yeah, that
Be
wasn't
like
a problem
9 to
for most
6
teams
game.
last year, Dan.
Yeah. All right. I don't like you win. You have one good year.
I'm just saying, we're a
in
football
Illinois,
school now.
and
Yeah.
it's like,
What were you before?
We were a basketball school.
trying to be a
Trying to be?
basketball school for
At
a
one
little bit.
point, a basketball school.
What's James Madison? Like a rugby
We
school?
won the Sun Belt last year. You remember that, Tom?
No, I don't.
They got a pizza party.
Fun Belt champions.
Give us a huge pizza party.
Give me a Fun Belt preview, 10 seconds or less.
It's fun. James Madison is going to be good. App State is going to be good. South Alabama is still going to be good.
and time.
All right.
All right. That was your Fun Belt.
You keep going. Fun Belt is awesome.
No, it's a very fun conference, and I'm on the record. I mean, now, especially now that teams have left the AAC, like the AAC loses Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston to the Big 12. I think the Sun Belt's going to be the best G5 conference within the next 10 years because it's the same thing as the SEC. All the football and population growth moving towards the Southeast is kind of growing that conference as far as talent-wise because they're getting a lot of the, quote-unquote leftovers that the SEC leaves behind. And there's just a buy-in from all the schools about wanting their football programs to be good. It's not like we were, they didn't add Rutgers because of cable boxes. They added James Madison because they gave a shit about football and want to play football. So I think long-term Sun Belt's going to be the best G5 league.
So do you think that the Sun Belt's going to be better than the ACC again this year?
It could be. I mean,
hope so.
the
I love
ACC
that.
is 3 teams and then a whole lot of, I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
Tom, when we were sitting outside before we started this interview, I mentioned that I was going to Tuscaloosa for Texas, Alabama, week 2, the college football show, Barstool College Football Show. We'll be there. I don't know if I'm breaking news, but we will be there. And Tom just whispered, Texas is going to win that game.
They are.
So, Big 12, Texas, it's the year.
It is. We have to do our predictions at the beginning of every season on CBSSports.com, and I was asked for the most underrated team in the country, and I chose Texas. And it felt really fucked up to think of Texas as being underrated because it is perpetually overrated every single year. But I really do think this year's Longhorns team is going to be very good. Like I've got them winning the Big 12. I got them in the college football playoff picture. They're not anywhere near good enough to win a national title, but they could be like, the TCU of the world and get to the playoff because they've got Quinn Ewers at quarterback, who we saw last year in Austin. They nearly beat Alabama until Ewers got hurt and went down, and they still hung tight in that game, and Alabama still needed a last-minute field goal to come back and win it. I think they've improved the overall talent depth of that roster. I think Ewers gives them a much higher ceiling. And if you're looking at Alabama and Texas, like Quinn Ewers versus, I don't know, Jalen Milroe, that seems like a huge advantage in Texas's favor in that matchup, even in Tuscaloosa. So I think talent-wise, they've done a very good job of building that roster where they're closer on par with the SEC teams that they're going to be competing with in the future. And I think they have a huge quarterback advantage over most teams that they're going to play. And in this sport, that goes a long way.
You are in direct opposition with Andy Staples on that. I think he said they're the most overrated.
Well, he's a Twitch streamer. What is it? Who cares what Andy thinks it's
Wait,
not?
so who else, if not Texas, then who? Because the Big 12 is it feels like it's fun every single year. I'm actually happy with the whole conference realignment. It feels like the Big 12 will continue to be fun with the teams they added. But Kansas State was great last year. Baylor was good last year. You have there's these teams that people don't really expect, and it's just a hard conference to play in.
Two things can be true. One is that the Big 12 is really fun because, especially last year, nobody in that league was there was no gap. There was no top tier team. Everybody was close enough to where week by week you're going to have a ton of fun games and anybody can beat anybody.
TCU.
But still, TCU played 8-1 score games. It's not like they were blowing the doors off of teams. But the other part of that is true is that Oklahoma and Texas were mediocre last year. They kind of did not live up to their expectations, which allowed the rest of the league to kind of step up. I don't know if Oklahoma is going to have a big bounce back year. I think they're going to be better than they were last year, but I do think Texas, if there is an elite team in that conference this year, it is Texas. But I agree with you in that between TCU, who I think just naturally has to kind of come back to earth a little bit because besides of everything that they lost, like I said, they played a lot of one-score games. We'll never forget that crazy 2-minute drill to get the field goal against Baylor to win where they're scrambling on the field with no timeouts and they get the kickoff and they make it. I think Baylor's still going to be good. Kansas State is just a very well-coached team that doesn't do stupid shit. And if you can do that in college football, you're going to win plenty of games. I don't think Kansas last year was a fluke. I look at that league, I think having Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, and BYU coming in, they are probably going to struggle a little bit. But I don't think the gap between them and the rest of that league is significant enough to where they won't be able to win some games. The only team I look at in the Big 12 that I have serious concerns about the bottom falling out is West Virginia because they come in with their coaches already on the hot seat. They have a very tough non-conference. They start the year with Penn State. They get Pitt. That's a team that could lose three or four of its first games. And then you fire the coach, and then you go to the interim, and then everybody just kind of quits, and then everything bottoms out. So when I look at the Big 12 as a whole, I think Texas is the best team, and I think West Virginia is the only team with a chance to be terrible.
Okay. All right. What about future Big 12 team Colorado? Our boy Dion. I know what people are saying nationally about Dion. There's a big conversation about him. Where should the expectations be for Colorado this year?
If Colorado gets to a bowl game, Dion should get a lifetime extension for running that program. Because here's the thing. There's been a ton of attention about what he's done in the transfer portal, bringing all these guys in. And he's got Shadur, his son, at quarterback, who was very good at Jackson State. We have not seen him play at this level yet, but he's a talented player. So that's important to have. The quarterback's the most important position. You get Travis Hunter, who is a phenomenal player at any level. I know looked like he was playing a different sport than most of the kids he was facing last year. He is a genuine two-way threat, kind of like Dion, where he's going to be the best corner on the field, and he might be Colorado's best receiver too. And so they have very talented players, but they just don't have the depth yet. And my concern for Colorado is its offensive line and its defensive line. I don't know if they have enough guys there yet to really compete in the Pac-12 because while the Pac-12, the bottom of the conference is pretty soft and they might be able to find some wiggle room to pick up a few wins down there, the top of that league is still pretty good. They don't have an elite team, but they have a lot of very good teams. And they have, like Utah, if you look at Utah just beating the shit out of people the last few years and punch people in the mouth, they're going to crush a Colorado.
Yeah.
In Oregon State, a Washington State, Arizona State, Colorado can compete with those teams. So it's going to be a case of how healthy do they stay. If they don't suffer a bunch of injuries, as long as Travis Hunter's playing, as long as Shadur Sanders is playing, they can flirt with going 6-6, 5-7. But I think they're far more likely to win 3 or 4 games. So the Dion debate conversation is never going to die down as long as he's there. And he's either there's going to be, if they go 3-9, there's going to be way too much of a pushback and say, see, I told you this wouldn't work. But the truth is, for the rebuild kind of thing that they're taking on, you need to give him 3 years before you can really judge whether it's working.
Yeah, I want to see Ralphie run somebody over. That's what I want to see. I want to see some spark out of Ralphie the Buffalo.
Those Cowboys that bring him out, I just sit there, I watch. It's like, come on, trample.
Yeah, that's what we're rooting for. Anytime they bring out the Boomer Schooner, I want to see that thing fall over. I want to see Ralphie the Buffalo run over some cheerleaders. That's what college football is about.
Yeah.
It's about
they
animals.
Should put him on the
people.
sideline. Just have him next to the opponent's sideline. Well, they should have her on the
Yes.
opponent's sideline, just intimidating the shit out of them. Because imagine you're standing there trying to watch a football game and there's a buffalo standing 2 feet behind you,
be
just
great.
snorting. You're
Yeah.
going to be kind of nervous.
Yes.
It'd be great. So the Pac-12, though, in whole, is going to be, like, the top is going to be very strong. They have a ton of great quarterbacks coming back. Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Cam Rising, Cam Ward. Can the Pac-12 finally stop cannibalizing themselves and maybe get into the college football playoff before we go to a 12 team, and then we just forget that the Pac-12 just never had a team for like 10 years?
Yes, it's possible. The problem is that you look at those Pac-12 teams and all of them, like obviously every team has a weakness, but I mean, they all have significant weaknesses at certain spots. Like with USC, I already mentioned earlier, like that defense from what I saw against San Jose State last week, a lot of the same problems that existed last year are still there. They do not tackle well. When they get pressure on a quarterback or in the backfield, they're great. If they don't, they get torn apart.
Who does Alex Grinch have blackmail on?
I don't know. I mean, him and Lincoln are just boys. Lincoln,
Alex Grinch. Everyone talks about Alex Grinch.
we
like,
all
their
have that
defense doesn't
friend.
Tackle.
We all have that friend who we know we shouldn't be hanging out with, but we're just kind of ride or die with him anyway. And it's like that's our boy.
That's
we're just
Jake
sticking
for
to
us,
it.
yeah.
That's like your Jake. So that's kind of Alex Grinch to Lincoln Riley, I guess, because I do feel like the one thing that has kept Lincoln Riley from winning a national title is a defense. And
Yes.
he just keeps bringing Grinch back every year. It's saying this will work. Maybe it finally will. I'm still skeptical. It was the first game of the season. You don't want to read too much into it. Washington is fantastic. Michael Penix has a rocket arm. They've got 2 very good receivers. But my concern is Michael Penix has had injury problems in the past. If he goes down, I think there's not – I don't know what's behind that. I think that's a team whose season could be derailed by one injury. Oregon, Bo Nix is Bo Nix. Like
Heisman.
he's
This is the
looking
year.
he's looking really good. This
Yeah.
is the year. But Bo Nix, like he was very consistent last year, and it's the first time in his career that he's been consistent. Can he be consistent again for another year? I don't know. I think their secondary is very sketchy. Defensively, they remind me of USC in a lot of ways. They're going to be having to win a lot of 45 to 40 games, which they're capable of doing, but it's hard to do that week in and week out. In Utah, is Cam Rising healthy? He tore his ACL late last season. We don't know what his status truly is for this week's game against Florida. They need him, and also defensively, they kind of like last year they're getting punched in the mouth a lot more than you're used to seeing Utah get punched in the mouth. Like they gave up a lot of big plays in the run game. They weren't as physical. Can they get back to being that? If they do, they are once again my favorite to win that conference because they're just the most complete team.
Okay.
Caleb Williams. Give me a reason why I should doubt him.
You shouldn't.
I want to doubt him so bad. The fingernails.
Yeah, he's not a team guy. He paints on his finger.
Yeah.
I mean, who's the last quarterback to win a Super Bowl with painted fingernails?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Never happened.
So, no, Caleb Williams is the real fucking deal. Like everybody, you do the bit with, Mahomes makes this throw, everybody goes nuts.
Yeah.
Everybody, when there's a great quarterback, compares all the college quarterbacks to this guy's the next Mahomes. Caleb Williams is the only one I've seen who actually plays like Patrick Mahomes.
Checkdowns.
Yes, he's a check down
Patty,
artist.
yeah.
But like he scrambles around, he makes ridiculously stupid throws. Like against San Jose State the other day, there was the one where he drops the snap, he picks it up, he takes one step to his right, and without taking a step forward, launches the ball in the air 50 yards down the field on a dime to his receiver for a touchdown. People can't do that. Like that was just insane. But you also see when he scrambles around, like Mahomes, he's not looking to run. He just kind of moves around and he's always constantly looking downfield, waiting for one of the really talented players he has at receiver to finally break free of the defense. And then no matter what direction he's moving or what position he is in, he can fire the ball on a dime to every single part of the field. And it is truly incredible to watch. It's why I think he's the best player in college. It's why I think he'll be the first pick in the draft. And it's why I think he's going to be the first guy to win the Heisman in consecutive years since Archie Griffin.
Wow.
Whoa.
So,
Bold take.
Whoa. I like this.
Who else you got in the Heisman finals?
right now, I would say Quinn Ewers has a shot to get there. I think Bo Nix is going to get there if he has the same kind of season he had last year. And then there's always the guy who kind of comes out of nowhere. Maybe J.J. McCarthy if Michigan wins a third straight Big Ten. It could be whoever ends up being Ohio State's quarterback, which we don't know yet. It's going to be, I think Devin Brown or what the hell's the other kid's name? Who I can't remember. Kyle McCord. So they could be in the picture. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be in the picture, but it's such a quarterback award. Like I know Devontae Smith won a couple of years ago, but it is still, by and large, so many Heisman voters aren't really like watching every game week in and week out.
You
It's
need
just
a Heisman moment.
Do you have a Heisman vote?
yeah, I do.
Who'd you vote for?
That's what started our rivalry, by the way, with this guy over
yeah.
here. The first time you mentioned I had a Heisman vote on the show, his response was, "That guy has a Heisman vote?"
Oh yeah, because he thought that you were a cartoon dog.
Yes, exactly. So, yes, I do have a Heisman vote, so I can speak that.
They gave Ignatius
Wait,
J. Riley
can we-
a Heisman vote.
Can we get you to give your Heisman vote right now?
No, I can't. I'm actually not legally allowed to say who I vote for until after the awards.
Okay,
Legally.
Before you said no matter what, I'm voting Brock Bowers. And I was like, really? A tight
Yes.
end?
Yeah, for sure. I love Brock Bowers. He'll get Heisman hype. I don't know if he'll actually deserve it, but he will get plenty of Heisman hype for it. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of dudes who are going to step forward and have really big years. So it's hard to say who's going to win it. But I think the trump card that Caleb Williams has is what gets held against guys when they win it the first time and come back is they get held up to a standard that they haven't even achieved themselves yet. It's like, well, you did this last year. Why haven't you done this? Caleb Williams is going to put up the same kind of numbers he did last year, but the one trump card he has left is that USC didn't win the Pac-12 and get to the playoff. So if they do both of those things this year and he has the same kind of season and he's the reason for doing it and USC is back, that's going to get him enough votes from the casual Heisman voters who don't really watch or follow the sport.
Okay.
Okay. Give me one team outside of the power conferences, one team that we're going to see hanging around the top 10 at the end of the season.
Tulane will still be there. I think they are, Michael Pratt coming back was huge. There were a bunch of teams after him in the transfer portal just throwing money at him, and he decided to stay at Tulane, and I think that's very good for the Green Wave. And I think this is going to be a kind of a renaissance season for Boise State.
Oh.
I like their quarterback, Taylor Green, a lot. I think that in the Mountain West, they have a very good shot to kind of run the table in there and have a very good season and therefore be in that kind of playoff picture all season long. So if I have to pick two G5s right now, I would go Tulane and Boise.
All right.
Whoa. Nothing pissed me off more than listen, week 0, I usually just bet whatever and I don't look into anything. When I had a significant amount of money on Louisiana Tech and realized that I bet on Hank Bachmeier,
Yes.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yes.
This guy again?
They played FIU, whose quarterback completed 5 passes for 4 yards, and Louisiana Tech still didn't take their first lead of that game until there was a minute left.
Man, that sucks.
That's an
It's
awesome
always
stat line.
It happens to
That's
me
like
every
the
week
Jerome
0.
Bettis.
Yeah,
Yes.
every week 0, I'm like, fuck. This guy, damn it.
The transfer portal really does kind of fuck things up because it's like I'll turn in, it's hard to follow all 133 teams closely. And it's like I'll turn it on the first Saturday or second Saturday of the season. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude playing for this?
Yeah.
So it's,
How did it end up here?
it changes things quite a bit.
Talk to me about Notre Dame real quick. Are we waking up the echoes?
No.
No, but I mean that's pretty
Sam
pretty
Hartman.
impressive performance.
It was a very impressive performance. And Sam Hartman is a huge upgrade over what they had at quarterback last year. There's no denying that. I think they're better at the receiver position, which was a problem for me with them last year. They just had no explosive plays outside the numbers. It was all throw to Michael Mayer over the middle and see if he can break a tackle.
They did have Pine Cone as their quarterback. That
Drew
was,
Pine.
that was an amazing moment for the punsters out there.
But I mean, the thing that's holding Notre Dame back is its schedule. Like they have to play Ohio State, they have to play Clemson, they have to play USC. They're not getting through all those games without losing at least one, if not 2 of them, even though 2 of them are at home. And then you have other tough games, like NC State's going to be a tough game. Duke on the road is going to be, they're going to win, but it's going to be a tougher game. So it's really hard for them to get through that schedule and think they're going to get back to the playoff this year. They kind of made things a little too difficult on themselves.
So you mentioned Clemson, the ACC, the Forgotten Conference. Are they going to right the ship? Because Dabo, he's on my hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
He's on my hot
You got
seat.
him on a hot seat?
He's on the hot seat.
What do you think has to happen for Dabo to get fired?
10-win season.
Actually supposed to quit.
Well, last year they had the most disappointing 10-win season of all time.
True, they
He
did.
told us he would quit once college players started to get paid.
It's true. He has since turned, he has rectified that statement and says, it's not so bad. But I do think Clemson's in a very good spot in that there has been so much attention and hype on Florida State during the offseason that it's allowing Clemson to fly under the radar, which is a very weird thing to say about Clemson because they have dominated that league for the last decade for the most part. So I do think getting rid of DJU was probably a good thing for them.
Nice job saying it that way.
Uyunglele.
There we go.
But I think they just kind of had to move on. I think that made things too awkward. He was supposed to be the next great Clemson QB, and it didn't work out, and they were just kind of playing him out of loyalty.
It was the Notre Dame game.
I think they were
That was the
afraid-
best game I've ever seen play.
Yeah.
He was insane.
They're also just afraid of his dad. I think Dabo was like,
He's
this
a
guy's going to kick
large
my ass.
man, yeah. But I think, like they also had the transition last year of the one thing that Clemson has had through all these years is they've kind of had, continuity at the coordinator position. So they lost Tony Elliott to Virginia. Jeff Scott had left for USF, and then Brent Venables leaves to go take over the Oklahoma job. So it's a lot of guys in new positions for the first time. And the one thing about Dabo is like the same reason he's too loyal to DJ, he's too loyal to his guys at times, and they don't change things up. Like they were too predictable, too stale. You talk to other ACC coaches, and they would just straight up tell you the only reason they can beat us is they have more talent than us. We know exactly what they're doing every single play, like just based on their alignment. We know what's coming at us. They're just better than us, and they'll beat us. But that caught up to them last year when they didn't have Trevor Lawrence or a Deshaun Watson at quarterback. So this year, Cade Klubnik, the jury is still out. I think he's pretty talented, but I think the most important thing they did was they got Garrett Riley, who is Lincoln's younger brother. He was the offensive coordinator at TCU last year. He's coming in. So they're finally making the changes on offense that Clemson fans and I think the general national media have been saying they need to make for a few years now. I think that's going to be a huge boost to them. I think they're going to have a very solid season, and I do think it'll be between them and Florida State. So that's probably got to be one of the game of the years. If whoever wins that Clemson-Florida State game is going to win that league.
Is there anyone else in the ACC that we have to worry about? I mean, Drake May is obviously going to be a top 5 pick.
Drake May is very good. I don't think North Carolina is very good. And I don't think Drake May is good enough to paper over North Carolina's deficiencies everywhere else on that roster. Because, like, defensively, they've been a mess for a long time. And I don't think they've fixed anything enough this offseason to think that that's going to improve. So they're going to have to win a lot of 45, 42 games, which Drake May is capable of doing. But when you run into Clemson and Florida State and you run into the good teams, you're in trouble. I think NC State is a team that too many people are sleeping on. I think they've got a very good defensive line, and I think that they've been very consistent over the years. So they're probably still going to be good. Louisville people are hyping up because they have a ridiculously easy schedule, and it is ridiculously easy. And they do also have the homecoming factor of Jeff Brom coming back. But I just don't think they're that good. I think Scott Satterfield, he got a lot of hate from Louisville fans, some of which was deserved, some of which I just think was people being mad at the coach because that's what you do when your team's not winning games.
He did say also, like, his favorite part about Louisville is it's 15 minutes away from the airport. Yeah.
And he's too honest. Like, that is the one thing about Satterfield. He said he loved the airport line, and then he also said when he interviewed for the South Carolina job, he's like, yeah, I interviewed for the South Carolina job. It's like, why would you tell the fan base that? But anyways, that's something he had to live and learn from. So I think they're going to be good, but I think the ACC, for the most part, it is a 2-team league. And there's other good teams, like I should mention Pitt, another good team in that league. But once you get past Florida State and Clemson, it's just a bunch of, like, Citrus Bowl kind of teams.
Right.
So give me your Final Four, and then give me one team that the entire fan base is going to be pissed off at you for not including in the Final Four.
Oh, that's easy. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, USC, and Alabama is going to be pissed at me for not putting them in the playoff because I don't even think, like, we had for our predictions, it was like we had to put in our top 4 and then the first 2 out. I didn't even have Alabama in the first 2 out.
Oh, who are your first 2 out?
LSU and Texas.
Saban probably loves you now, actually. Saban loves the disrespect. You're giving,
look, Tom Fornelli, this cartoon dog.
I hope I'm on the locker
room.
You
were the biggest purveyor of rat poison in the past, and now you're just not giving him any respect whatsoever.
I don't think Nick Saban knows I exist, to be honest with you.
Do you think Nick Saban you think he'd recognize your name?
No. I don't think Nick Saban – I think Nick Saban is more in tune with the media than he wants you to believe because he is on ESPN at the end of the year doing, like, their playoff games when Alabama's not in it.
So pathetic.
But I don't think he, like, outside of the local people that cover Alabama and maybe some of, like, the big name reporters.
There's the Weather Channel guys too.
Yeah, the Weather Channel guys. I don't think Nick knows too many, like, other national people outside of it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Hey, Hank, who's your top 4?
USC, Wisconsin.
Oh.
LSU.
Oh.
James Madison.
He's thinking.
This is a big thing.
This is really tough.
It's very important. He wants to get this right.
Penn State.
Oh,
okay. I like Penn State.
That would be a hell of a Final Four.
My colleague at CBS Sports, Dennis Dodd's Final Four was Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State.
Oh, I love it.
I was like, Dennis,
But
I
then
have
if we
no
lost-
idea how that plays out.
And then if Georgia wins, then it's
Like, are we
I
going to
kinda
throw
don't
all
want
3 of
that.
them at the same time?
Yeah.
Just mow through the Big Ten.
just a gauntlet.
Is there a game that I know that they released the lines for Week 1, and you probably saw one game that you were like, I cannot wait.
Texas Tech -14 against Wyoming.
Okay.
Put it right
Yep. All right, we're on it. How many units?
I went full. I mean, go as many as you're comfortable going, but it's game of the year territory for me.
I'm going to bet on it right now before the Masters here. You're probably going to move the line tomorrow.
I don't take game of the year lightly.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying make it a game of the year, but I'm saying that's how.
No, you said game of the year.
You said you would make it a game of the year.
That's how confident I am in the pick. I think that line is a little short by about a touchdown.
Game of the year.
That line's going to move. I got to get on it now.
Game of the year.
If this misses, Tom,
I have
we're
Texas
gonna suspend
Tech.
you.
I have Texas Tech minus 14. I also have Texas Tech alternate lines at minus 20. So I'm feeling pretty good about this one.
All right. What about Week 1 NFL?
But who's Buffalo playing? They're minus 2.5.
The Jets.
The Jets. I like Buffalo minus 2.5. The Jets are getting way too much respect because
I agree with that. We were talking in the car, and I obviously bet the Jets for my Ghost pick, which I don't expect to do anything, but I had to do it because the Ghost told me to pick it. The Bills are a weird team where their last game that we all remember, the Bengals game, was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
But they went 13-3 last year, and their 3 losses were all by like 2 points.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, this team is still really fucking good. We just saw them have their worst possible moment as their last game of the year.
And I mean, I do think the Jets are going to be better this year. But like,
oh, look at that. He gave a little memes. Keep memes away. Memes will meme you to death. Do you know what he's been doing to Max? You've seen it.
Yes.
If there's any crimes in Illinois, memes will have your face on it.
We said before the show, Max is a very memeable face. You can fit him into a lot of criminals.
Memes is obsessed with Max.
But I think the Jets are going to be better because they have, really talented receivers and they have that quarterback. But I just think week 1, when Aaron Rodgers has hardly played at all in the preseason, going up against a Buffalo team that clearly has a lot that it's playing for and has a lot of experience playing together, Buffalo should.
Are you going to flip with me and just be like, Aaron Rodgers never said a bad word about that guy?
Oh no, fuck Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you're staying with that.
But Aaron, if you're listening, fuck you.
Wouldn't it be very funny if he was very successful with the Jets and the Packers fans, like he took less money, he wanted to get out of there. If he was happy.
If the Bears don't win the Super Bowl this year, the ideal scenario is the Jets beating the Packers in the Super Bowl. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of agree with what Big Cat's saying that if Aaron Rodgers wins 2 Super Bowls with the Jets,
correct,
that makes the entire Packers organization
even if he wins
look
one
miserable.
Yeah. If he wins 1 in 1 year and he won 1 in 16 years.
Well, I mean, when Peyton won one with the Broncos, I don't think everybody was like, "Wow, Indy's a clown show." I think if you win 2 with the new team, then it's like, oh, that first organization was holding him back.
Yeah, but also Peyton he went to 2 Super Bowls, so it was like he'd have been in the Broncos. I'm saying this year. If he won it this year, it would be phenomenal.
It would be hilarious. It wouldn't be phenomenal. It would be hilarious. I would laugh about it, but I would not be happy.
He'd go in
about
as
it.
a Jet.
He'd wear actually, yes. If he goes into the Hall of Fame as a Jet, I will love Aaron Rodgers.
We always fuck this up. I don't think in Canton they go in as
it's baseball.
No, but if he says it on the podium, always give him
I'm going in as a Jet.
Once a Jet, always
he has
a
Woody
Jet.
Johnson introduce him. He's like, "This is the greatest owner in NFL history.
Yeah,
this is for all my Jets fans." That would be that. I'll go on Aaron Rodgers' side.
If he opens up his speech with Jets, Jets,
yes,
that would be great.
Yes,
these are great thoughts. Okay, I have a Roback question. Roback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. I'm wearing the joggers right now. Super comfortable. Roback.com, best clothes out there. What other games are we looking at week 1?
I mean,
I just fired a missile on Texas Tech, Tom.
Good. You're going to win money. You'll be happy you did. The Florida-Utah game is one of the bigger games. That's very interesting on Thursday night. But I also feel like week 1 overall is kind of soft. It's not great. But I would say that Florida-Utah game has a chance to be very fun. It might have a chance for overreactions. Like if Florida plays well, we might think they're a lot better than they are. Plus,
Mertz, who would
that's what I'm
overreact
saying.
to him?
Graham Mertz. I mean, come on. Imagine if he throws like 4 touchdowns with only 1 incompletion in the entire game. Could you imagine?
I think it was 5.
Was it?
Yeah.
Whatever. It was a long time ago.
No,
it was COVID.
22 for 23.
Memory's hazy.
Yeah.
Season didn't count. But I think that's an interesting game. I think the Penn State-West Virginia game could be very interesting too, in that West Virginia is, I mentioned them earlier, they have the chance to really bottom out. But more than anything, I want to see Penn State because West Virginia right now in week 1 will be a good team. I don't know if they'll still be a good team in week 6. And I think it's a nice little test for Penn State. And then obviously the LSU Florida State game.
Yeah, do we have a pick there?
Yeah, LSU money line. I'm not going to fuck with the spread in that one. I'm just going to take the Tigers to
It was
win.
a crazy game last year.
Mm-hmm. And I think the Tigers are a better overall team than Florida State. And I also think Florida State did a lot of work in the transfer portal during the offseason. So it's one of those things where it's a team that's used to playing together, playing a team with a lot of new guys who haven't fought together yet. And that can sometimes give somebody an advantage, even in a quote-unquote neutral site like Orlando.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. This has been great. Tom, you're the best. Any last thoughts for college football?
Yeah, I go back to the BCS. I remember you once used to be on this side of the war with me.
Why not? Computers.
Yeah, no, not that computer so much. Although they're, ChatGPT, it's pretty smart AI. They can figure things out.
Pick the best 2 teams.
Yeah, and you just put the 2 best teams in there, and you don't spend the entire year talking about this 9-3 team having a chance to make the playoff and whether they can win the national title.
Oh, I do have one last question because this is a good way to make money. What is? Give me the worst team in each Power 5 conference, because that usually, until you can really until it settles into everyone's brain that this team is absolute garbage, you can usually win some money against them.
Northwestern, I think, is too obvious, but they are the worst team in the Big Ten. The worst team in the Big 12, I think, right now I'd pick Houston, but by the end of the year, like I said, I think could be West Virginia, but I would bet against Houston early in the year.
Would you rather
Coach
be a good
Dana,
team
though.
at Northwestern, or would you rather have a strong moral compass? Because that's what we decided to do this offseason. We're going back to what made Northwestern great, which was sucking at football but doing it honorably.
Let's be honest, we're all dudes in this room. Like, you haven't spanked your friends nude. I mean, come on, what's
You
the
haven't
big
done
deal?
the human loofah?
No, I mean, come on. We've all
Shrek clap?
Yeah.
We used to do the Shrek clap over Billy's head before every single
It is
podcast.
great that Darren Ravel has to be the one who stands on a soapbox being like, hazing and bullying is fine.
I think it is in certain instances.
Yeah.
The Pac-12, the worst team. God,
Cal?
Stanford. I'm high. I don't think Stanford is going to be awful this year, but I think they probably more often than not end up as the worst team, and especially since they've got a new coach and a new offense early in the season, I would bet against them. The SEC, the worst team.
Kind of tough. Vandy's not terrible.
No, although Vandy, their offensive line worried me a bit against that Hawaii game, but I'm going to go, and this feels bad because it's not really their fault. I'm going to go Mississippi. Brandon's not here, right?
No.
I'm going to go Mississippi State because, you think of what they have to deal with in that it's not like they fired their coach. Their coach died, and it's not something you can really game plan for. And then you don't go through the coaching search of finding his replacement. You just promote the defensive coordinator, Zach Arnett, who is completely overhauling the offense. He's getting rid of what Mississippi State has been using to win games, but he still mostly has personnel that fits that offense, and he might have some of that DC brain that you see sometimes when a defensive coordinator becomes the head coach and he just wants to try to win games 6-3. So I think Mississippi State has a chance to have a pretty bad year, but I would say it's either them or Vandy, but I'm not going to officially say Vandy since my friend works for them. So.
Okay. And
that's
then
fair.
ACC, because this also, by the way, this is key for like a Northwestern. These really bottom of the barrel Power 5 teams, they'll lose to a MAC team. They'll lose, and they always get credit in the spread where they'll be like 7-10 point favorites. It's like, no, they're not good.
Yeah, ACC, I'm going to go Georgia Tech or Boston College, although I do think Boston College is going to bounce back. They were very bad last year, but I don't think many people realize how many injuries they had, especially on the offensive line. So I think that just being moderately healthy improves BC. So I'm going to go with Georgia Tech.
Do they have the quarterback back?
No, Jurkovic. He
Jurkovic?
transferred to Pitt.
How many years does Georgia Tech have to suck before we get them back running the triple option? If you're a Georgia Tech fan, you got to be. It's the worst to switch styles completely and then suck at that style.
That's the thing. Like, Georgia Tech fans, when they made the move and went to Jeff Collins and we're finally getting rid of the triple option, they were like happy and excited about it. And then they've had to watch how it's worked out for them. I think that we need more triple option. I think Georgia Tech is a school we've seen the triple option work, but I don't think Georgia Tech is. I think there are some Power 5 schools who would be better off running that, but I don't think Georgia Tech is one of them. But I'd be happy if they go back to it. I think that it's, and we're seeing it too. Like, this is getting off topic. One of the more concerning things, we go back to last week's game against Notre Dame. Navy's in the shotgun. Army's going to be in the shotgun this year and running an offense that looks a lot more like what we've seen from Coastal Carolina in the last few years. Like, the option as we know it is kind of going away, which is sad because my Service Academy Unders principle is probably going to die with it too.
Mm-hmm. That is sad. It's very sad.
I like the Service Academy overs What
You
Army
like
Navy?
losing, yeah.
Well, no, Army Navy. Did you win or lose that last year?
It's true. It's for the 9th time in 55 games I did lose the bet. Yes.
Do you feel good about that though when you hit an under on the service
Yes.
academy
Yeah,
game?
he's a sicko.
It's
Yes.
you're betting against America.
He's a fucking sicko.
No, I'm not. I'm betting against the defense of this country.
No, you're not, Tom.
Protecting us from points.
No,
Tom's pick 6, though, for anyone out there, is always very sharp. I know Tom in a more personal way where he texts me his 25 picks on Saturday, and then I text him back my 35 picks, and then we pump each other up. We're like, let's have a day.
Let's do it. We're going 10 and 13 today.
Hank, do you have any questions for Tom?
How dare you?
No, I mean, are you sad the golf season's over? Like, what are your
Golf
thoughts?
season's not
Wait,
over.
that's
Hank.
your rule that you have for yourself that you're violating tomorrow.
Well, no, I figured it's. I mean, I can imagine
You're playing
as
around
the
in
college
golf
football
tomorrow.
season starts. That's for work.
Yeah, I won't be able to golf on the weekends, which are from Friday after work until Sunday night, but I will be able to golf on Monday through Thursday pretty regularly.
When you went to school, what days of the week did you go?
Let's see, senior year of high school, Friday, and then in college, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays mostly.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
No, I didn't go to
college
classes on
Fridays.
Thursday and
Well,
Friday.
no, I was talking about growing up as a
No,
youth.
you don't go to college on Friday, Hank.
But what time when you got off when the bell rang at 3 p.m. on Friday and you were a little third grade Hank, did you just stay in the classroom or did you go home?
I would go home.
And so were you at
For the
school?
weekend?
Well, I'd go home on Monday too, and Tuesday.
Did you
and
wait
Wednesday.
until Saturday morning to go play with your friends?
You could play with your friends. You can. That's the thing. The weekdays are subjective. It's a subjective,
No,
it's
see.
a state of mind saying it's Friday night, but it's not.
The weekend.
Friday night is the weekend.
Is that a weekend night, Hank?
It can be considered a weekend night depending
Okay,
on your
thank you.
interpretation of it,
Depending-
but it could also be considered a weekday.
My interpretation is that it is a weekend night.
My
So yes,
brain
you're right.
hurts.
He's not a world-renowned educated
Yeah, that's
person.
true. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Do you remember that thread on bodybuilding.com where there was
Yes,
two guys got into like
yes.
a month-long argument over how many days are in a week?
Oh yeah, I think actually Billy was conceived in that thread.
Yes, she was in the lab. All right, well, Tom, thank you as always. We'll have you back on mid-season. Talk some more ball. You're the best.
Yeah, it's great to be in studio, looking you guys face to face while we're doing this, and I can't wait to do this at the new studio next.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
golf simulator. Yes.
Thomas Fornelli was brought to you by Bushmills. Bushmills knows that the best things in life are far from the well-trodden path. They're found by those who have a healthy disregard for the status quo and seek a superior alternative. As the world's oldest licensed whiskey distillery, Bushmills has never conformed to trends or compromised on quality. That's right, Bushmills was making single malt whiskey before there was bourbon, before Scotch was called single malt, and before whiskey was even called whiskey. Bushmills, please send me some of your product. I've been trying to get into single malts, trying to find out good starter single malts, good elevated, nice, classy single malts. I would love to sample some of yours. I do love Bushmills, though. We're going to be putting out some golf content. We're actually hitting the course tomorrow for work. Not for fun, Hank, for work.
Yep, got to do it.
But you know what? It is going to be fun because we're going to have Bushmills out there with us, and we're going to be celebrating bogeys. We're not very good at golf, so if we make a bogey, we're going to be celebrating with Bushmills bogey bottle. Can't wait for that. Chart your own course. Check out Bushmills, and stay tuned for that golf video that we're going to be putting out. Those golf videos, Max is putting those out, I think, within, 24 hours of us shooting them?
A couple weeks, it'll be a pretty quick turnaround.
Very quick turnaround. Shout out Bushmills. And now, here's our highlights from Kentucky Sports Radio.
What was it? 3 years ago, we put Cal on the hot seat.
We took him off last year.
Yeah, 2 years we gave him last year we gave him an extension. This year, I think he's good. I think there's let's see how it goes out. It's a big year for Kentucky basketball, but I feel like they're going to do this one for Harvey, who, by the way, we want to send our condolences to Harvey's family. We loved Harvey. He was a legend. I told him last year that I put a future on Kentucky to win the national title, that we would split. I did, in fact, do that. But an absolutely legendary guy, and I hope should Kentucky put a patch on their jersey for Harvey?
I think that we should put another future on Kentucky this year.
For Harvey.
Split the proceeds with Harvey's family. How
Okay.
about that? When it cashes in?
Done.
Let's do it. Let's do
Done.
the season for Harvey. Win one for him. Moment of silence for Harvey.
Always good in radio to do a moment of silence. People think that Their car radio is broken. But yeah, Harvey,
That was actually a long moment of silence in radio terms.
that was. But Harvey, absolute legend. And he remember last year he told us vibes. The vibes were good for Kentucky basketball. I think he was maybe a year off. I think this year's the vibes are good for Kentucky basketball.
Well, I think you hit on something there. Kentucky football powerhouse, SEC. I mean, they've shown themselves to be quite a force to be reckoned with in the SEC over the past couple seasons. I think it's good for Kentucky basketball that they're no longer a basketball school.
Yes.
That Kentucky's a football school.
All the
That's
pressure's
good.
off.
All the pressure's off Papari right now. So he's flying under the radar. Nobody really cares in Kentucky if the basketball team's good or not. They're all focused on the fall. They're focused on football season.
And you bring in a good point about Perry. He is the hot seat has gotten hotter, but I feel like with the recruits he's brought in, this is the year.
I wonder how how Tennessee fans are going to embrace Will Levis as the quarterback for the Titans.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any lingering resentment there.
Feels like there might be.
There might be some, yeah.
Big T now is a Falcons fan, so he can't speak to it, but we could maybe hear from some people who are volunteer fans and also volunteer fans and Titans fans.
No, I don't want to hear from any callers because I know Big T probably has most of them blocked anyways. Any prospective callers.
You a big block guy?
Oh, a huge block
on Twitter?
guy.
Yeah, from the mentions I've gotten this morning, though, I don't think I have most of them blocked.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna have to clean them out. You're basically like having all the rats come out and be like, all right, now I can nuke.
No, I won't block Kentucky fans. I don't punch down.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. This is great because usually we're the people that people get mad at in the comment section of Kentucky Sports Radio. Direct this all at Big T.
We're gonna have to reel him in a little bit. Big T,
shout out your socials real quick.
They know where to find me.
Okay, let's shout out your socials so that we can make sure that people can find you.
At Connor H. Knapp. KNAPP.
Okay. So at Connor H. Snap, everyone find him for anything he says today.
Yeah, go do that.
I think that's totally fair.
That's great.
Can you tell the people what you're wearing? What's on that shirt there? You started to brag to me about the shirt that you specifically wore today, and I said save this.
I was asking you if you knew what was on the shirt. This is the beer barrel, the trophy that Tennessee and Kentucky used to play for every year. Kentucky's won it very seldom.
Okay. Do we have calls, Rick?
Yes, we do. Joey is up next.
Joey, what's up?
Oh, hey there, big fan, Joey in Lexington. I don't miss an episode of Pardon My Take. I don't miss a Cats game. I was actually listening to an interview you guys did with that Kenny Smith in the NBA, and I picked up his book because of you guys, so thank you very much. Great book. And in that book, he tells a story in 98 towards the end of his career that he was going to get a job at TNT, and Brian Hill was also up for the job.
This is also. That's how they pronounce it. And also.
And Jason
Rico.
Williams comes
Hey,
in the
well,
locker
sorry.
room
What was your name? What was your name?
That TNT job because that there Calipari, that rat.
Joey in Lexington.
Joey. Okay.
Joey.
To get the last cut.
Joey.
For Brian Hill. Does
Joey.
that sound like a guy with morals? Does that sound like a guy who violates HIPAA laws?
Joey, I got a question for you. What's your favorite part about Keeneland?
The horses, as long as they're not getting shot and dying, you know?
Oh, okay. Because, Joey, you're a big horse guy. I think you're the guy. I think I heard you once say that Bob Baffert was riding the horses.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, Dan. I think, a long time ago I was potentially a convicted felon, but people could change. If you could change, I could change. I think your co-host there would maybe say that. Hey, Big T, you want to weigh in there? People pile on you. You think people could change?
No, Big T's
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Joey in
now.
Lexington, but he sounds like a pretty straight shooter, good guy.
Well, not a straight shooter.
A reform.
Literally not a straight shooter.
No, it was straight.
Maybe
there's a lot of people
being a rat and holding guys for other jobs.
There's a lot of people who have been tweeting me today saying they wish that Joey in Lexington had better aim. So that we wouldn't have to have this show
he
right
had
now.
great aim. I'm just built different, and I dodged, but the aim was impeccable.
He shot a little bit to the right. If it was Mariano Rivera, Joey, I think that would have connected, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe a drowning, a different animal.
Joey, I got a question for you.
These inside Barstool things, I don't really follow. I just want to get some comments on Calipari being a first-round exit every year after every year.
Okay,
that's
Joey,
good. That's good, Joey.
So,
self-aware.
I got a question for you. You don't like Calipari. It makes it doesn't really make sense, but you don't like him. What do you think in terms of morals, Coach Cal versus Nate Oates?
I would say one goes to church every Sunday. One is building a program. he's going and getting kids from 5 stars from a program that hasn't been, storied like Kentucky, going all the way back to Adolph Rupp. I mean, Kentucky, this guy's born on third, thought he hit a triple.
All right, so wait, Nate Oates goes to church every Sunday, so he's absolved from everything else that he does. Is that what you're telling me?
Is this Joey from Lexington is basically going with the Hitler had built highways?
I never covered that in my history book. I just know that the SEC title runs through Tuscaloosa.
Wait, but you live in Lexington, Joey,
and you never miss a Cats game. What's going on here, Joey? It's not adding up.
It's starting to fall apart, Joey.
I mean, you could if the things are changing. You got to be able to say that. You got to call a spade a spade.
So when it comes to Alabama basketball, Joey, they haven't been disappointing, have they? They've excelled. They've won multiple titles.
Couple of free throws against UCLA years back. It's a tough one, and then. The injury bug, JQ goes down. Last year was just a tough one. That San Diego State team, tough team. Listen, I know a guy in New York. He's friends with David Velasquez. He's on some high list to take a head coaching job. They say he's got the most powerful phone in the country.
All right,
David Velasquez, he saw him at the Final Four, and now he's going to be a head job somewhere. So that San Diego State team, that's a tough team.
Now, Joey, I know that you're a diehard Wildcats fan. What about Louisville? I know that you like Louisville basketball, right? They're building something.
They do, yeah. That Nolan Smith, he's a good guy. I saw it today, actually. I'm a little worried. He's interviewing for a G League head spot, I saw.
Oh.
You saw that.
Joey,
shout out to Trilly Donovan. Trilly Donovan's got all the rumors.
Joey, you sound like you're a gambler. We do have college football week 1 coming up. You're an Alabama fan. I see that they're playing Middle Tennessee. The line is minus 40. Are you thinking maybe taking them first quarter minus 6.5?
If it's available, you can only take what's available.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's not a real line, is it? Big Cat?
Joey's really good at gambling because he just makes up fake lines and then he's like, I got it. I did it.
I'm not saying
I got it on Tuesday.
I'm not saying that Joey does this, but I have heard stories about people that will see a line when it comes out, see which lines move the most,
yes,
and then go back and retroactively say that they bet that line before it moved.
Yeah, I think that would get you in prison with the SEC.
I think it might.
You're Bernie
Insider.
Madoff of gambling.
I'd say some give it out early. I happen to see your Twitter, Dan. You're jumping on the Badgers pretty early yourself. So
I have a ticket that.
What's that old saying?
I have
in
a
the Bible, Big T. What's that old saying?
All right. So
There's a lot of them. I don't know, Joey.
Another one he's talking about.
Joey,
Yeah, that
I would
one.
love to show you the ticket of
Working
the Badger
too hard can
bet.
give you a heart attack.
Joey, I'd love to show you the ticket of the Badgers minus 27 against Buffalo week 1 if you would show me USC minus 6.5.
All right, that's old. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. I'd love to come down there and maybe stay in the studio and talk to y'all fellas. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, Joey, you're done? Okay.
Joey, you never invite yourself on another man's podcast. You know that.
Yeah, that friend I know up there with that big phone, you would think he'd get maybe a little sniff of Pardon My Take studio, but nothing for that boy. So, yeah, I know. You never invite yourself on the Brother Podcast. That's how it rolls.
Well, we're
Okay,
a pro
Joey.
friend for Shilla Podcast, and I've heard that you've said some bad stuff about
That's
him.
a good friend of that
No,
friend.
no,
that's
not a good friend.
All right,
Yeah,
so-
not a good
All right,
friend.
Joey, this was 10 minutes that you could have been hiding a gun for Nate Oates, so why don't you get back to work?
Fair enough.
All right, that was Joey from Lexington. Definitely from Lexington.
That was the
Yeah,
worst
for-
accent I think I've ever. No, right off the bat, I was
First,
like
20 seconds.
Mickey Mouse accent.
Rick, who do we got?
Got Okolona Jared up next.
Oh, what is his name?
Okolona Jared.
Okolona Jared.
All right,
Jared,
sounds like
what's
a
up?
Turnpike song.
I wanted to talk about little brother, the cards down the street, but Big D's got me fired up this morning. So Tennessee has also only been to one Elite Eight. So
Is that true, Big T?
And should have won that game. We got screwed.
Should have, but they got
see,
screwed.
This
Yeah,
is more loser talk.
No, we
You are a
easily
loser.
could have won that game.
you are a loser, Big T.
Big T wouldn't know that because he's only been a Vols fan for like 8 years now.
Oh,
So that's crazy too.
interesting. Now there
But
are
you
some
guys also
people.
haven't won a meaningful.
There are some people that will point out
You
that
have
there's
one
a
of
there's a
these.
picture of Big T when he was about. It's hard to tell. I think he was 6 years old, but he looked like he was 14, wearing a Georgia sweatshirt. Now, Big T, I think, is that fake news or was that a real picture?
It's a real picture from when I was like 4 and didn't dress myself and lived in Georgia. So.
I did. I dressed myself when I
Yeah.
was 4.
I wish my
did?
4-year-old would dress himself.
I did, yeah.
Jared, what else you got?
Just a couple more facts here. So Kentucky's beaten Kentucky leads the overall basketball series 159-78. But I know he didn't mention that 'cause he's a bandwagon fan. What else here? Oh, Tennessee hasn't won a meaningful football game since '98. So you'd probably have to get an almanac out.
Really?
The last time Tennessee won a meaningful football game. Yeah.
Now, define meaningful.
Well, that it meant something to anybody other than a Tennessee fan.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair definition.
They won the best game in college football last year against the number, were they 2 or 3, whatever they were.
Was
you
that
guys ended up in the Outback Bowl and the Citrus Bowl. I would argue that wasn't the best game in college football.
Last year?
He's talking about the game against
Alabama. Alabama lost 2 games.
Okay.
So, like, you didn't keep the
Tennessee did not go the
They
Outback
didn't
Bowl.
keep you out of the playoff. I think Alabama did.
Okay.
You guys went
no,
Citrus.
Alabama went to we played
Orange
in the
Bowl,
Orange
Orange
Bowl.
Bowl. Yep,
Alabama
Orange
played
Bowl.
in the Sugar Bowl. I'm not sure where we're getting our facts from here.
Jared, these are good facts. Anything else?
Yeah, I basically just wanted to say, what's the B stand for? You bum?
Oh, got him.
the B and what?
Yeah, I don't even know what
I don't
we're
know.
talking
I just
think-
got him. He said bum.
Was he calling Big B?
Big B.
I kind of
bum.
like that.
Yeah,
You're Big B.
Well, he started with
bum.
Big D.
You're
No,
big
you're
bum.
And then
Big B.
No, you're
Yeah.
big bum.
No, that's good.
Big B. I want to see. I want to
Yeah,
see a
that works.
Photoshop of Big T, but like with bumblebee stripes on him.
Yeah, no, that works.
You kind of do look like the. What was it Charlie the bumblebee from the tuna can?
No clue what you're talking about.
Yeah. Look it up.
What else we got, Rick?
Okay, we got Thomas up next.
Thomas, what's up?
Hey there. I called in because I got a bone to pick with Matt Jones, but I got a bigger one now with Big Bum.
Okay.
Oh,
Shocker.
big bum. Wait, I want to hear the Matt Jones bone to pick first.
All right. Well, I called in because I knew he wasn't here to defend himself. But whenever he goes on these trips with Shannon, Drew, and Ryan, he always takes the king bed and he makes them sleep in other rooms. And he saves all his money. He makes $100,000 off free advertising for his restaurant and his wrestling and his Netflix show. And he can't spend a little bit on that to get those boys a good bed.
Is this true? Is this true that
Wow.
he doesn't allow Drew to sleep in a full size bed?
Should they should draw straws or something?
Does he sleep on the like the little daybed bench at the foot of Matt Jones's bed? Is that what you're saying?
Man.
I mean, it's a successful radio show. You think they get hotel rooms, but he cheaps out on these Airbnbs with one king bed, and everyone else shares a room. And Matt, and then he has to drive the whole time and pick the music, and everyone has to stay awake while he's driving, even though he doesn't let anybody else drive.
Everyone has to stay awake. Is that a rule?
He's always talking about, like, if I'm driving, someone has to stay awake with me to talk to me. But he takes them on these long road trips across the country. Like, they're in the car like 7-8 hours a day. Like, I want to sleep if I'm in a car that long.
No, I mean, in Matt Jones's defense, he might be using points on those hotel rooms. He flies a lot. I know he travels to Little St. James Island, right?
Mhm.
That's one of his frequent destinations.
Yes.
So he probably has those miles banked up, so he gets the king bed. Do you think? I mean, how much bigger is Matt than everybody else?
He drives everywhere. He's not flying with them.
Wait, Rick, have you ever gone on a trip with Matt Jones? Has he made you sleep in the dog bed?
No, I've never been on a trip with Matt.
Is that because he'd make you sleep in the dog bed?
Probably.
Does he
Good
leave
answer,
out?
Rick.
Does he leave out fresh water for Drew? That's my big question. Because
Yeah.
if not, that's inhumane.
Does he have a doggy door so he can
Yeah.
use the bathroom? Okay, good answer.
Good answer,
All right,
okay.
what's your gripe with Big Bum?
He's a Tennessee fan, and like they don't realize they're just Nebraska fans who just don't know it yet. They live vicariously through these stories of the '90s when they were so great. But but they haven't done anything. Their biggest claim to fame is beating their rival last year on a last-second kick at home. If they play that game in Tuscaloosa, they lose by 30. And Alabama didn't even make the playoff last year. It's like their most down year ever, and that's their biggest claim to fame since the Great Pumpkin left their state.
All right, couple things, Thomas. If your grandma had balls, she'd be your grandpa, but she doesn't, so she ain't. Secondly,
Well, gender's fluid.
when's
Matt
the-
Jones taught us that.
that's fair enough. Yeah, you can be whatever you want.
You sure don't have a lot of accomplishments.
Okay, well, when's the last time Nebraska was number 1 in the country, Tom?
Oh, this is loser talk
I
again.
don't care who's number 1 in the middle of the season.
Yeah, that's loser talk.
Okay, anyway,
You got
I
back to
know.
loser
Okay,
talk.
fine. I want to play a game with Thomas. We're going to play Wheel of Fun Facts. Thomas, do you want to talk about How your arena that's also a mall is named for a racist, or Billy Gillespie being a drunk?
Hold on. Rupp Arena's awesome.
Deflections. Oh, we're going to deflect.
No, we're doing Wheel of Fun Facts.
I don't know if you know this, Big T.
Instead of talking about what a bum program Tennessee football is since the 90s.
Are we talking? You want to talk about Tennessee football compared to Kentucky football?
You haven't done anything since Peyton Manning left. Nothing.
This is a Kentucky fan speaking, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to back you up one thing, Thomas. Rupp Arena's beautiful.
I've seen a national championship. Are you even old enough to have seen a Tennessee national championship? We all know you haven't even seen Elite Eight.
I've seen both.
One Elite Eight, my bad. One big Elite Eight in your whole history.
Are you talking NIT Final Four or NCAA Final
couple
Four?
of those, and women's, a lot of women's.
You know, the NIT used to be bigger than the national championship. People forget.
People do forget that.
Yeah, back when your racist was coaching.
By the way, Rupp Arena's beautiful. I don't know if you know this, but they painted all of the ductwork in the ceiling blue.
Sick.
Last summer,
that
2 summers ago.
Yeah.
Pretty nice touch.
That's cool.
So you're wrong on that part.
No, I've been there. It's a beautiful mall and hotel. Great hotel bar.
What do you got against malls?
It's a great mall to play basketball in.
And Matt Jones gets the best seat in the hotel mall.
Yeah. All right, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate your call.
Got Ron up next.
Ron, what's up, Ron?
Hey, fellas, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Good deal. Hey, I don't normally call in. I get a little nervous on these talk shows, but look, I just can't stand when Matt has you boys on.
Okay.
It ruins the show the whole day. I don't know who Big T is, but I think his name's more like Little Teat.
Oh, wait.
Good
So
one.
Ron, what could we do to make it better for you?
For me, I just can't stand the way you boys talk. And here's what I got to say about what Big T is. Joe Milkman ain't been good since he was in high school. That was 10 years ago.
Damn.
Your comment, Big T? Excuse me, Little T.
I'm destroyed.
Wait, so Ron, can we change
They
what
didn't even want him up in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Ron, can we change what we're talking about to make it better for you? We want to meet you halfway.
Well, I really don't know if it's y'all's fault. I just really like listening to Matt Jones.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
Good
It's
guy.
like when stepdad shows up.
Other than him, I just tune out. But this Big T guy, he drove me crazy today.
Yeah, Matt
Ron, would you like to maybe play Wheel of Fun Facts? Maybe that would help you feel better.
I would not. I am just happy that Levis is down there in Nashville and can show you boys what a real quarterback looks like finally.
Oh, I like
Okay.
it. Ron, we're
Last year, I think he would have had just fine of a job to show y'all what a real quarterback looks like, but you caught us after we had faced 2 or 3 real SEC teams.
Oh, okay. Is that why you lost 44-6, or couldn't have kept it a little closer than 40?
We just come off 2 or 3 real SEC games.
they just come off.
Yeah. I believe it was Tennessee's first SEC game after Alabama. So,
Ron, where are you calling from?
I'm from Milton, Kentucky.
Okay, are you close to Bee Spring? Have you heard us talking about Bee Spring?
I have heard. I don't know much about Bee Spring, but it sounds like a place I may like to visit once it gets cleaned up a bit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I wouldn't want to visit Bee Spring after. I want to visit it right now.
Yeah, I want to smell that smell. Ron, what's the big thing that's going on in Milton, Kentucky, or your area right now that we can dive into? I want to make this show. I understand we are the stepdads. No one likes a stepdad. You want your real dad, Matt Jones, but he has to. He's joining ISIS right now. So what can we do to help?
Well, really the only thing going on here in Milton is the interstate runs through on the way to Cincinnati. We got Madison across the river there in Indianapolis, but other than that, there's really not a whole lot going on up here.
Any controversies? Any local news going on that we should be aware of?
Fellas, I don't even know if we have a local news station.
I like you, Ron.
Yeah, that's good.
Ron, you seem like a guy I want to have a beer with.
Well, I would love that. I would love that anytime.
Okay.
Preferably, I drink Kentucky bourbon, but I'll have you a beer if you need one.
All right, you'll have us a beer. I love it.
Ron, I feel like we've mended some fences here, Ron. It's only one day a year.
Well, like I said, I don't know if I mind you boys or not, but I can't stand it when Matt Jones leaves for his 6th or 7th vacation of the whole year.
Yeah,
yeah.
Makes all his guys sleep in a dog bed.
Him and Hank have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I don't know who Hank is, but I assume he takes 15, 20 vacations.
1 minute.
You assume
that's
correctly.
a fact.
Yes,
You nailed it.
You picked that up well. All right, well, Ron.
Well, I just want to say one last thing to Big T.
Yeah.
T. Ricky Barnes, only thing he's good for is mopping up the floor after the Kentucky Wildcats come and whip his butt.
Why is he beating them more than they've beaten him then? And what about raising good Christian men? He's good at that. You a Christian, Ron?
Man, I am tonight.
Well, Ron, thank you. Appreciate your call. We'll try to be better in the last half hour. We lost Ron.
Yeah, we lost him. I need cargo shorts guy. What's his name?
I want to hang out with Ron.
Yeah, Ron's a good dude.
Well, I think we also.
I
need
respect
Eddie
anybody
to
that
call.
calls us up and says, "Hey, I don't like you boys."
Yeah.
But I just want to let you know that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. At least he has the courage to call.
DJ. What's up, DJ?
Not much. Everybody talks about basketball and football in Kentucky, but there's another big sport here, and that's chicken fighting. And I know you all appreciate a good cockfight more than anybody.
Yeah. Tell me about what's going on in the local cockfight scene.
They keep busting all these people, fighting them. You got all these people coming flying in from these other countries, dropping money, and then flying out.
So, have you been to a cockfight in Kentucky?
Yeah, I've been to a lot of them. I've been going since I was probably 7 or 8.
How long does a cockfight last? With Rick Pitino's in, probably not that long.
No.
It just depends on how quality of a bird it is. Some of them could be maybe 2 or 3 minutes to 2 or 3 hours.
So I'm interested because I've never been to a cockfight. When you're looking at the cocks beforehand, do you know like what a good cock looks like?
Yeah, you got to see how they're acting when they're weighing them up and whenever they're preparing them. If they got good energy, that's always a good one to bet on.
So when you weigh in a cock, do sometimes the cocks get bigger in between the weigh in? Like some might be growers, not necessarily showers on the scale.
Yeah. Usually they weigh them up, and then whenever they take them back before they fight them, they make sure they poop everything out to lose a little bit of weight, gain some speed.
Oh,
okay.
What? Now we're big sports guys. We love debates. Is there a goat cock? Is there a cock that you think about, like, you'd be laying in bed at night and you'd be like, man, that cock from whatever 10 years ago, that was.
Wish I could see that cock again.
That was the cock.
Well, there's not really a specific one. There's specific breeds. Some breeds are meaner than others. Some of them are stronger. Some of them are faster. You just got to kind of breed them to where you get a fast one and a strong one.
Some of them are cut. Some of them are not cut yet.
What's the best breed of cock?
Sometimes they trim them up, and sometimes they just let them go.
Yeah, Manscaped.
What's the best breed of cock?
Well, usually you like to go for the gray roosters.
Big Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they like to breed them with a lot of called a round head. So it's a red rooster. So.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But.
My dog's got one of those.
Mm-hmm.
What
I like this.
Is there a greatest cock of all time though? Big Cat was asking about the goat. We want to know who the legendary cocks are out there.
No, there's not really necessarily a legendary one.
Once you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yeah, Lexington and Steele.
Yeah.
What about the names? How do they name the cocks?
They don't usually give them a name. Some people name them, but usually they name them if they're just going to breed them.
Those are the best kind.
Yeah,
the breeders. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. You don't want to get attached to a cock and then have it die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they usually only live probably maybe 6 or 7 years.
Now, how do they train? Do they train on like a fake cock?
Usually you spar them, kind of like boxing. You just let them go without any of the equipment on them. So that way they can just.
It feels better without the equipment. Yeah.
Build up their endurance, and that way they get their training in before they actually get all strapped up.
What's the average bet like at a cockfight? Are people out there giving odds, or is it just like money line?
Usually it's money line, depending on what kind of fight it is. some of them people from flying from like the Philippines, they might land and drop like $20,000-$30,000 on one fight and then fly out. So
Yeah. Can you tell when a cock is cut in a fight?
yeah, usually they cut the comb off the head and off the sides of their head. That's what a cut cock is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about this equipment? What equipment are cocks wearing? Is there like a ring or something they're putting on?
There's either sometimes they put knives on them. They tie a knife to their foot.
Whoa,
That doesn't sound fair.
that's awesome.
You brought a knife to a cockfight.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and there's a long knife and a short knife. So you got one that's probably about 6 or 7 inches. The other one's about 3 or 4.
Yeah. If you got like a 7-inch cock, is that better, or would you rather have like more girth on it?
Well, the long ones usually them are quicker fights. Because if you got a good rooster, they can usually cut one up within probably 15-20 seconds.
Damn.
If they get a good hit.
Damn. Well, DJ, we got to come down and see some cocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want the invite.
I think we just made a plan.
It'll be a bukkake.
Yeah, they're all over the place. They're in the hills.
There's cock under every stone.
The hollers.
Yeah.
Creeks.
Yeah.
You ever send pictures to your buddies?
No.
Yeah.
It's probably smart.
That's very smart. Keep it low digital footprint.
You don't want to make them jealous.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Well, DJ, thanks so much.
You don't want to give them that cock envy.
Yeah. Oh.
No, definitely
No,
not. Definitely not. We're going to take another break, but DJ, we appreciate your call. I don't know if we have anything to give away, but you are caller of the day. So feel good about that.
Kentucky Sports Radio is brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. Football is back, so get excited because the boys and I have been cooking up a little something special just to celebrate the return of the season. Starting today, we are adding chicken tenders to the menu. Starting today at Pardon My Cheesesteak, we got some tendies. So if you're not a cheesesteak fan but you still want to support the pod, we've listened and we've added in something that everybody will love. It's tendies, baby. It's tendies, bitch. We're also rolling out a new limited edition item. It's a chicken bacon ranch cheesesteak, something we all pitched in to create. So whether you're looking for a quick bite to eat for lunch or you're ordering for the whole squad, Pardon My Cheesesteak now has something for everyone. Order now, pardonmycheesesteak.com, pardonmycheesesteak.com. You can find it on Uber Eats, DoorDash, and elsewhere. I love Pardon My Cheesesteak. I had a Pardon My Cheesesteak last week. Hit the spot. You want to talk about a sandwich that hits the spot? Pardon My Cheesesteak hits the spot. We love it. Shout out Pardon My Cheesesteak. And now here's Mount Rushmore.
Okay. Mount Rushmore.
What do you know about Malik Cunningham?
What about him?
I mean, he was electric in college. Why?
Pats waved Bailey Zapp.
Oh, Bailey Zappi. Can't even pronounce his name. Billy Zappi, electric.
Well, that was the nickname.
You also traded the kicker too.
A lot of kicker trades or movement today. It's
yeah,
weird.
well, Vrabel's doing the Vrabel thing because he hates kickers. He would prefer to never kick a field goal or an extra point if he didn't have to. So he's just going to roll the dice and not have a kicker on the roster, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. He'll probably pick somebody up, but that man, I love him. But
Malik Cunningham, though, is
kickers.
electric. He was electric at Louisville. So
I'm watching his highlights.
Oh, you are? Tell us what you think.
Fast.
Yeah, he is fast. Sorry for your loss, Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, crazy.
That seems like
You always have that time when you completely submarined Mac Jones.
It seems like they're kind of
confidence.
They're satiating Mac Jones by cutting Bailey Zappi.
Oh, you think it was one of those?
I think it's one of those. We don't want everybody clamoring for the backup. We'll get rid of him.
So now we have Malik Cunningham, who's literally electric.
Yeah, but he's not Bailey Zappi.
He's not Bailey Zappi. All right, Mount Rushmore. 2 left. Standings.
That would make this the penultimate Mount Rushmore.
Yep, it would.
I've been waiting for
Yeah, we know. You can't help yourself. Standings.
Yes. Big Cat and PFT 31, Jake and Billy 30, Hank and Max 27 with 6 points on the board.
Congrats,
and now
guys.
we talked
You
about it at
did
the
it.
beginning of the show. PFT, could you share that stat with us?
Yeah, just an interesting stat that came across our desk, and it's pertinent to Mount Rushmore season.
Very pertinent.
Very pertinent to Max and Hank's team specifically. Max has scored 4 points in 3 Mount Rushmores when Hank was gone.
That's pretty good. That means, what, at least 1 win and a couple second places, or maybe 2 wins?
It's 1.333333333333 points per game.
If you do that all season, you won't be in the box.
Definitely not in the box.
Yeah.
That's almost averaging first place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when Hank has been around without Max, he's scored 1 point in 4 Mount Rushmores.
Oh, no.
So that comes out to 0.25 points per game.
Oh, no.
For Hank.
So
Max is 5 times better at Mount
Where
Rushmore.
else was
than
Max?
I don't know. You're the boss of him.
Yeah, where has Max been?
No, like I know he's gone this week, but what were the other ones I did without him?
I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah. Listen, you guys did your thing. You rigged the election.
How?
You made it. You
How?
knew I was.
It's also
You knew
not
I was
over.
not firing
It's not
last
over.
How?
week, and you had us do 3 in one night, which was a lot on a Sunday night after a long weekend and a vacation.
Wait.
You pulled the wool over my
Let me
eyes.
see.
What do you mean a long weekend?
Hold on. Let me go back.
How is Saturday?
And then-
how is Saturday
and
at
then
12:01 a.m.
You told
to
Billy
Sunday
not to text
at
Jake
6
back
p.m.
so
a
that
long
memes
weekend?
could give him the picks, and they had probably their best week of the season without Billy. Listen, I'm not even mad. I respect the move.
No, you're not mad.
You guys did what you did, and now you can throw these next 2 and guarantee that me and Max go in. So good jobs. Congrats.
It's not over.
Put it
Congrats,
on a quote
Jake.
card. Hank is
Congrats.
not mad.
I
never said he was
respect
mad.
it. I it's one of those things where, I should have been more alert. I should have been on top of it. I was, enjoying my summer, relaxing, not thinking about you guys pulling a move like this, but it was
Pulling
I
a move
respect it.
like what?
You know what you did.
No, I don't.
We did 3 last Sunday. You knew I wasn't. We golfed on Sunday, and you saw where I was at, and you're like, Big Cat, let's do 3 in one night. We'll tell Billy not to text
Hank,
back.
I'm just going to throw this out here.
It's fine.
Maybe you shouldn't have gotten really high on the golf course on Sunday.
Like I said,
Hey,
I had no
can
choice.
someone look
I didn't
up-
bring it, but
can
if someone
look
passed
up
it to
the
me.
calendar, tell me what day of the week August 18th was.
I said no to drugs, Hank.
August 18th was a Friday.
Oh, interesting, because August 18th was a Friday, you said? At 1:42 p.m., which is August 18th, Friday, 1:42 p.m., that's a work day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I texted the group and I said, Sunday night, we should do 3 Rushmores. Makes Tuesday and Thursday easier, and that way Jake can make picks in person. That is a full 48 hours plus.
Again, I appreciate
of a
the
heads
inclusion.
up.
When did we
Big
get
Cat,
the topics?
Big Cat, what time did you text that?
1:42 p.m. on Friday.
I was
That-
on vacation, so technically I was off. I wouldn't have even seen that till Saturday.
You know why that's also interesting? That's a full 10 hours before the weekend even starts.
But I was
So
off
Hank
that.
had
I was off
plenty of
that day.
time.
I was off.
Oh, you were off that
So
day?
that didn't even come across my radar till Saturday at midnight.
Interesting. That
Listen,
didn't come across your radar.
congratulations. You guys pulled it off. I have, accepted that me and Max are going in. We're gonna make it fun. That's what everyone wanted. This
It
is,
was all- it
the
was-
Hank-
over.
This is the Hank and Max show. It's what
breaking
everyone
moves,
wanted.
Breaking moves. Breaking moose. Breaking moose.
Move.
Give me a move. Give me a real move.
There you go. That was
I forgot
horrible.
part. So Friday, what did I say? August 18th, 1:42 p.m.
Shane just texted us.
Yeah. I thought that's what the breaking move. This is more important breaking moves.
It's just cut Malik Cunningham too.
Oh no! That you literally just watched his highlights. What the fuck?
So who's
you getting fucking Brian Hoyer back in the mix?
Probably, yeah.
Damn, what a twist that was. That was a great moment in podcasting
Thanks, Shane.
history.
Thank you, Shane.
Hank watching it and just being like, yeah, this guy rules. Hank, comment on Malik Cunningham. You just fell in love with him.
Do we have one quarterback now?
Malik Cunningham is the hot girl across the bar that Hank catches eyes
Well, I was
with,
watching his
and then
highlights.
she
He went to
leaves right
Louisville.
away.
I'm like, oh,
Now-
it's Lamar Jackson.
If,
Like, we have
I,
Lamar
if I was a
Jackson.
conspiracy theorist,
Why would you compare
yeah,
to
that's
Lamar
interesting.
Jackson?
Because he was playing at Louisville. I
about
was watching
James?
his Louisville
Just
highlights.
that?
I was watching a Louisville quarterback being electric. Yeah, Lamar Jackson, same category.
If I'm going to put on my Florio hat real quick here, Big Cat, and I will, Tom Brady back to the Patriots.
Ooh,
Fiction.
I'm down.
Oh,
that's
now
fan
he's not
fiction I
fiction.
can get. No, that's fan fiction. That's I'm a what do you call it? Softcore porn or like written porn? Erotica.
Okay,
Patriots erotica. Like I'm down.
Yeah, fan fiction.
Yeah, but like erotica style. He writes fan fiction the opposite way. He writes horror fan
fiction.
Got
Okay.
it.
So Tom Brady, we're first reporting it here, a part of my take. Tom Brady has been linked to conversations coming back to New England Patriots this year.
per here.
per us. It's this conversation.
Okay, so back to
I mean,
Mount
we don't have
Rushmore.
any other quarterbacks on the roster.
Oh,
Kaepernick.
Yeah.
What about Kaepernick?
Okay.
Philip Rivers, Big Ben. Some names.
Favre.
Hank, you're going to want to pay attention to this. So back to the Mount Rushmore thing, when you said it wasn't on your radar because you weren't working that day. When I texted Sunday night, we should do 3 Rushmores. That way Jake can make the picks in person. That was 1:42 p.m. on August 18th, which was at 1:43 p.m., Hank replied, okay.
That was AI.
He literally saw the text and replied. And then at 1:43
Well, I was just
p.m.
on vacation. I wasn't going to push back.
Hold on.
I just
At
took a week off. I'm
1:40
not going to be like, that's too much, guys.
At
This is
1:43
clearly-
p.m., you actually said one of the topics we were doing, and you got 0 points in that topic.
Listen, it is what it is. I've accepted loss.
These facts have really hurt your case.
You know, I guess you guys don't, you shaped this narrative well. You didn't want to keep up with the max second place. Sad that's over.
What?
I look forward to my 24 hours in the box.
Oh, don't give up. By the way, I don't want to bring up
No,
bad
it's over.
topics,
You guys.
Well, it would be over if we didn't get a penalty. We would have already been cleared. But
That's
we're
true.
gonna.
Well,
we're
it would be over for you guys, but
Yeah,
the competition
right,
would
right.
be over.
Also,
Well, I don't
we
care
won the
about you
we
guys.
won the paintball thing. We
I
gave
care
you
about
guys
me
a
and
point, guys.
PFT.
I don't want to sit in a room for 24 hours.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
care what room it is.
Okay.
Just one room
A couch with football?
for 24 hours
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah.
In what world is that possible though? There's no
They could figure it out.
there's no schedule that's that's what they should do. Week 0 should be 24 hours of football.
College basketball used to do it. It was the best.
Yeah.
I would
the
love
best.
The best.
schedule makers
4
get
a.m.
on
tips.
it.
Yeah.
Week
Yeah.
0, 24 hours of football. That's what I want.
Okay, so we are doing the Mount Rushmore of things we plan on doing eventually. And so Max and Hank need at least, 2 points? They need 2 points.
So
They need a point.
If we win or if Hank finishes last, it's over.
It's over.
Okay.
Either of those 2 scenarios.
So you need at least a point.
They need to
Jake-
win at least one too.
Yes. Yes.
They need to win.
You
Yeah.
need- yeah.
They need one.
Don't say
one
that.
today, 2 Friday, or 2 today, 1 Friday, or they can win it outright with 2-2 and me and Billy going 0-0.
So our magic number for
It's 1.
avoiding the
You
punishment
guys are guaranteed
is 1.
a tiebreaker,
Yeah, but to be free and clear, we just need 1 point in the next 2
or
Mount
you just need
Rushmores.
Hank not to sweep the rest of the way.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
judging by Hank's past performances,
Well, he didn't know that we were doing a Mount Rushmore today.
it's true. It snuck up on him. Hank, you suggested the Mount Rushmore trilogies, and then you only came up with 3 responses.
I forgot that was also one.
That's not true.
You came
Oh,
up
that
with-
is very true.
You had 2 of the
No,
3
just a bunch of
topics
them
you
took.
knew beforehand. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Mount Rushmore of things we plan on doing eventually. PFT, are we up first?
Big Cat and PFT, Jake and Billy, Hank and Max.
All right, should we just go 1-1?
Yeah.
Okay. What? What's that face?
Let's just end it.
Okay, things
Just
we
fucking
plan on
shoot
doing
me.
eventually, getting jacked, getting super jacked.
I'm actually going to get jacked, though.
Yeah, 6-pack, the whole thing. Just getting in, maybe getting in the best shape of your life.
I'm going to have a Halloween 6-pack. It's going to be incredible.
Getting in the best shape of your life.
Going to
Yeah,
go
get in
as
the best shape of your
going to
life.
go as the situation for Halloween this year. It's going to be awesome.
I have said this conversation to myself, internal monologue, no less than 1,000 times in my life. It really pops up on a Sunday night, but it will happen at any time where I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to get jacked.
You know what?
This is going to work.
I did this a couple weeks ago. I decided I wasn't going to diet. I wasn't going to try to lose weight. I was going to bulk. I was going to get jacked up. In retrospect, that was just me being like, here's a free pass to eat whatever you want while working out the exact same amount.
The lengths that we go to try to trick ourselves into getting jacked. In my new house, I have a gym with like a treadmill and a squat rack, and I purposely put multiple TVs in there because I was like, oh, I'll watch the games and I'll get jacked.
Yeah.
I've been in it once.
Yeah, I've got a Peloton. I've got those adjustable dumbbells that go up to like 100 pounds.
It's crazy, dude.
I have 2 gym memberships.
It's crazy.
And I use half of one of them.
It can't.
I'm going to get jacked, though.
I'm going to get jacked.
Yeah.
I'm going to get jacked. This is going to work. Hank is so broken right now as a man.
Stand up for yourself, Hank. Come on.
No, I mean, I also
Show some
agree.
life.
I have
You
10
did
years
this.
straight of getting jacked plans.
Yeah.
I've
F45.
had a couple months.
Let's just do it.
It's just that like I got in good shape for like 2 months.
What if we just did
And then
it as a whole podcast?
traveling.
You think we'd get more respect?
For sure.
Well, because like I obviously struggle with like if I got skinny, people would be like, "Oh, you're not funny." But like,
Yeah,
what
the
if
best
we-
shape of your life is actually round.
Okay. Hurt people hurt people.
It's true. I think the fans would
agree. You ever
agree.
hear that saying?
I think
hurt
the fans
people,
would
hurt
agree.
people. But what if we all got super jacked?
Don't body shame.
I feel like we could, like,
round is beautiful.
almost reconfigure this podcast as like a full life advice. Maybe we all got jacked and we
should
moved
put
move to the beach and just
bench
lived
press
in
and squat rack
solitude.
in the studio.
Yeah,
That's not a bad idea. You know what I'm doing to get jacked? I'm spending a lot of time in the sauna.
Yeah.
I'm a sauna guy now. So whatever Joe Rogan's stats are on the sauna, I'm doing 5 degrees hotter. I'm doing 5 minutes longer.
We are going to have a squat rack in the new office, are we not?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get jacked.
Squattober.
Dude, if we just do squat, that's the thing is you can just do squats and get jacked.
Yeah, you can do. You can
Just
definitely.
feeds all your testosterone.
My thing is once I really get into the rhythm, I have so much room to grow. Because some people, it's like they get jacked and you were jacked and then you got it fell apart. I've never even gotten jacked.
So that means that I'm better than you.
At one
pushed
point,
myself.
but I can still climb a higher mountain.
I was a beast when I did CrossFit. I kind of want to do it again. Get injured on the first day.
Yeah, CrossFit's dumb.
Who's up?
I think it's Hank. Oh.
Same order every week.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Positions, you've done a lot.
Yeah, so this one's pretty basic. Big Cat and PFT, you've already done this.
Oh.
PFT recently. It's pretty simple. Buying a house.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
I think no matter what position you're in, everyone plans on buying a house. PFT just did that 2 months ago for the first time.
$22 million.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah, so not much to it, but plan on doing it eventually.
I like it. That's a good pick.
Thanks.
That's a good pick. Hank did it as well. You're not going to say anything about him?
Was it house?
No.
Well, I mean, it's condo, but it's still, he bought it. He owns property. He's a property owner.
Congratulations on the
Why are
condo.
you staring me down like that? Meme's meme mugging me.
No, I heard $22 million. I was like, oh, he's rich.
You listen to the pod?
$75,000 an episode, bro. You hand us the big check.
My mortgage went up to $22 million mysteriously.
You know what? You should text Billy that PFT bought a $22 million house and see if he blogs it.
Yeah. We should have bought Michael Jordan's house.
I think we can wait that one out and we might get it for free.
Yeah.
Okay. Good pick. Hank. Sad Hank. Ooh. Titty fuck.
Learning how to play guitar.
Okay.
Why? You have no enthusiasm.
And then skydiving.
Okay. Good picks.
I would never do that.
I have skydove. It is awesome. You should do it once. No, you should do it once.
No, I just thought something.
What?
No.
My hands are sweating right now.
What?
No,
What?
I am lashing out. It'd be a lash
No,
out.
go
It would be a lash out. I don't want
Permission to lash out.
I know what he's
granted.
going to say.
When PFT came to my apartment, he stepped outside and was like, oh, and went back inside because it was high.
Yeah, I
It's
did.
funny.
Yeah, I had
didn't
a panic attack on Hank's balcony.
See, Hank is in such a mood that
I told you it was a lash out.
That's
I
not
didn't
even
know-
a fun fact. That's just
the
It was
best.
a little bit funny.
The best part is PFT is Hank's in such a lash out mood. I didn't know when he said, "Oh, I was going to say something." I didn't know it was gonna be about you. I thought he was going to say, "Yeah, you skydove once, and now you're too fat to fly."
Oh, that's true too.
You could have gone both ways there.
Yeah.
Why would you skydive? Why would you jump out of a great airplane?
It was fun. It was very fun.
I really want to
It's an
skydive.
all-time adrenaline
What I
rush.
really want to do, but it would take a lot more training, is I really want to get to a point where I could skydive on my own.
No,
I think
that's
that's
psycho.
the ultimate.
That
That's the
is
ultimate rush.
Insane,
I need that.
man. No, thank you. All right, Jake. Good
Yeah.
picks, Hank. Way to go. Good job.
Good picks.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit more specific.
Okay.
Towards a demographic, but homework on a football Sunday.
Ooh.
Plan on doing it eventually.
Doing it later?
Yeah.
Wait, so that is the procrastination thing you said.
I mean,
That's the thing. We actually would make picks that we believe in. Oh, Jake is just you are AI for Mount
Yeah, you
Rushmore.
are AI. You
You're
are AI.
like, you don't have homework, dude.
What are you talking about? How
It's
can you
more
do
of
it
the things you
eventually?
plan on doing eventually. That's not
You don't
your
have
pick.
homework.
Okay.
That's not even.
Well, I'll give Jake a bailout here. It's something that he used to plan on doing later.
But you,
yeah.
but that's not the topic. Like I couldn't pick.
I didn't realize it has to be things.
Exactly.
Well, no,
I know, you're
couldn't-
AI.
I
All your
couldn't-
picks last
we
week, not
couldn't-
your picks.
Me
It's
and
fine.
PFT couldn't say buy a house. We bought a house.
Right. Okay. I didn't realize it was first person. I think it's
Correct.
just
All summer.
generic.
Yeah.
You're doing Pander Bear.
He's AI.
I mean, the Taco Bell draft was AI.
Taco Bell draft, trilogies draft.
Never had it.
Everything. Pretty much 90% of your picks.
AI. I like this. Now you're getting the lash out. Love it, Hank.
Yeah.
Hank is spraying the whole room. No one is safe right now.
All right, I'll skip it.
I mean, homework doesn't make
you
sense.
picked it. No, I'm going to allow it for Jake. He graciously allowed us to take Air Bud.
That's true.
That was very nice of him.
Yeah. Okay. Go. It's our turn. All right.
I think the number 2 on our list is pretty good.
Yeah.
We got okay. We'll do number 2 and then number 10.
What about no 10 we can't do for the same reason.
No, I haven't done them yet.
But you've done them before.
Yeah, but
that's the thing. Like, I don't care if you guys pick something that you've done before, personally.
What about 7?
Okay.
Yeah.
We could probably get that last though.
Okay, you're right. This is good talking. We're talking it out. All right, do 2 and then we'll think.
Get a tattoo.
Yep.
I'm gonna get a tattoo.
Eventually, I will.
I'm gonna get a tattoo. I'm gonna get a plaid half sleeve. It's gonna be sick. Nobody's ever had a plaid tattoo before. I'll be the first, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm totally gonna get a tattoo.
Gonna get a tattoo. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely eventually gonna get a tattoo
for sure.
So
imagine if I was jacked with a half sleeve tattoo.
Be sick.
Combo would be sick.
So sick. All right, you want to do 10, but that's gonna put us in a gray area where. Hank is
it's over. It doesn't matter.
No, because I can justify. I can justify.
Okay,
10.
then you can do it.
Taxes.
Can eventually do
taxes. Eventually going to do taxes.
Right, so that's the same category as
no, wrong, Jake. Wrong, Jake. Because I got an extension to October 15th. I haven't done my taxes yet.
I have not done my taxes.
You've done them before.
I'm eventually going to do these taxes.
I'm going to eventually do my ones.
So what if I quit this podcast and go to law school?
Yes, applies.
Then that would count.
Yeah, great.
That's a hypothetical.
Then I'm gonna have homework.
You're living in dream world. I'm living in reality.
We're talking about things we're eventually going to do this year.
I still have to do my taxes, and I'm going to do them. Just not now.
I'm going to do mine as well.
All right.
Don't give me that smirk, Jake. I hate
that.
I
don't have homework. Are you going to ever have? I'm never going to have homework again in my life.
I mean, you never know. Life can.
No, no, Jake. I'm never going to have homework again in my life.
Maybe me.
You're going to have homework again?
Who knows? Life's crazy.
Life is crazy.
But you're saying you plan on
law school?
What?
It's not. It might not happen. You said you plan on having homework.
I told you guys I'm gladly happy to replace.
No, it's fine. You lost the plot a long time ago.
Okay. Jake, your pick.
We're gonna go with having kids.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good pick. There you go.
Get around to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eventually.
Was that Billy's pick as well?
No.
Okay. Billy not gonna have kids.
Not gonna have sex.
Okay. Hank.
We'll go with Max's. We'll do 2 and 2. Let him cook.
This is sad.
Decorating my apartment.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good pick because you do, like, your apartment always stays in that, like, half, like, hey, sometimes, eventually I'm going to do something with this.
You know what I love, though? I love the one box that you never unpacked, and it stays stashed in your apartment until you move out again.
Yes.
You're like, I'm going to use all this stuff eventually. And then you're like, well, I could just throw this away because I haven't used it in 2 years.
Yes.
You're like, no, at the next place, I'm going to use this.
Yes.
I moved 4 times in the past 4 years, and there was multiple times where I didn't touch the box but I still moved it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like this box has been there since I packed it up.
You never know
brought it
what's
to my
in
other
it.
apartment,
Yeah.
and then I looked at it and I was like, well, I'll just bring it to my next one. And then I was like, well, and then I finally got rid of it, I think.
My last year in New York.
But there was a lot of that.
I definitely gave up my last year in New York. I was
Same.
like, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to move to Chicago in 12 months. I don't really need to put away my clean clothes.
Yeah.
No,
I'm just going to put them right back in a box later.
My last apartment, because I lived there for a year, knew we were moving, and it was like, there was times where I was like, this looks weird because it's not decorated at all, but also, what is the point?
Yes. Yes.
And then lastly, becoming a millionaire.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go, Hank.
Yeah.
Wait, that was Max. Good pick, Max.
Good picks. Man, that's never going to happen for Max.
Never know.
Eventually. Hank, you're there. Corporate Hank's going to get there.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, Jake. Jake's going to be like picking out my Halloween costume.
Go for it, Jake. You got this.
Yeah. I'm rattled too now.
Learning how to ride a bike.
Yeah, that's specific to a demographic.
Our last pick is going to be retiring.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this is a good. That's a good
Generic,
pick. Eventually I want to retire. I don't
Yeah.
know if I ever will, but I want to. Be nice.
If I just retired, I would just end up doing this exact same thing.
Yeah, I hope that there's maybe like a half retirement that we could do. AI does Monday and Wednesday. We do Friday.
We just do the golf videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good retirement.
That would be a great retirement. Holy shit. We just do golf and gambling live streams.
Do you think if Hank retired and was just doing golf videos all the time, he would start working as his escape from work?
Yeah. He would take a vacation to podcast camp.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Should we go with that one though?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, I think we all would like to do this. 2 girls at once.
It'd be nice.
It would be nice eventually, right?
Check it off the list.
What? You don't want to do 2 girls at once?
That's an AI pick.
That's not an AI pick. I came from my brain. 2 girls at once rule.
But you're not planning on doing that.
Eventually, maybe. I don't know.
It would be a lot of pressure.
It would be a ton of pressure. I would completely fold under pressure. Oh my god.
I'd just start telling jokes.
I would love to do 2 girls at once.
She'd be like, please leave.
Yeah, 2 girls at once for 35 seconds. Would be sick.
Everybody gets 1 stroke. I would make a Rick Pitino joke and they'd kick me out of the orgy.
Hank, you don't want to do 2 girls at once?
Of course I do.
Yeah. Mr. Positions does.
Duh.
You fucking do positions on everyone.
That was an awesome duh, Jake.
Duh.
Yeah. I feel bad about my second
Just
pick.
give her a back shot. Gotcha.
It'd be great if Max. Max gets into an orgy and the 2 girls are like, "We want you to titty fuck us." He's like, "I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore." Gotcha.
Oh man.
All right.
We only have 1 Mount Rushmore left, guys.
1 more Rushmore left. Isn't that sad?
It's
Hank?
been such an awesome time just hanging out with you guys.
Hank, what if you win this and Jake finishes last? So you're gonna have some. You're gonna have some life.
It's not
Then it
over.
all comes down to Friday.
Yeah.
Do you realize that? If
No,
you win this,
you guys can rig it.
what?
I'm going to say
You guys can purposely
They're
lose,
not gonna
and you
throw
will.
it.
Jake,
No,
who
we
the
won't.
fuck do you think you're working with?
They're not going to throw it given the circumstances.
No, Hank, I'm giving
Without
you my
a
word. I
shot,
wouldn't.
doesn't matter.
we're not going to throw it.
I can't, you understand that I will never believe you saying that ever again.
You know what?
Because you have, and you've already, again, we've talked about this at length. This whole segment has been completely ruined since you guys.
All I'm going to say is, for the good of the
pizza
show,
toppings.
it would be great if Hank had some life going into the last game.
And on Friday,
Exactly, because you're gonna
Friday-
throw it. Like I
Friday,
have
I think
my
we should
win
do-
probability is 0. I'm not getting my hopes up. It doesn't matter. It's over. Me and Max are in the box.
Friday we should do Mount Rushmore pizza toppings.
Real?
Yes. Why not, Hank? Let's bring the pieces back together. Let's do a real Mount Rushmore pizza toppings.
I do like olives.
Yeah, I love double olives.
I can't believe you guys didn't take pepperoni.
Oh shit! I think I picked oregano.
I think our guys did a recap mashup of that recently, and it went viral again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, what? Hank, will you do
No, it
pizza
didn't.
toppings? Pizza toppings?
No.
For real?
Not viral.
On Friday?
I thought it did.
Hank, you're being a real bitch right now.
3
Well,
days.
Jake's just lying.
Oh my God! Again, if I lie, kill me.
Well, you did. You did lie.
I
yesterday.
did lie earlier. Yes.
You lied yesterday.
I'm dead. Yeah.
So yeah, you should be dead.
Yeah.
Will you do pizza toppings on Friday with us?
Whatever you want. It's your show.
I mean, come
We've
on.
already done it. Let's do water.
We have done that
You want to do water?
thrice. Have we done it 3 times
think
already?
so.
Memes.
All right,
memes.
memes.
What were you about to say?
No, the video did do pretty well.
Oh, wow, Hank.
Viral though.
Vi.
Aaron Donald, DK
Outside
Metcalf.
the part of my take universe.
Aaron Donald, DK Metcalf.
Yeah, Max said he was getting some texts of people being like, "Is this serious?"
Love it. Why don't we do 2 guys on chicks real quick? Because it's been a long show. We'll wrap up.
Hey fellas, my boyfriend has 6 straps.
I forgot he was
We can do
reading
honorable
shit.
mention.
Honorable mentions.
My
Yes.
boyfriend has
Sorry,
6
good
straps.
call. Honorable
Yep.
mentions. All right. Have a winning March Madness. I'm gonna eventually do
Perfect
that.
bracket.
Yep. Safari in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to the Kentucky Derby.
Ireland.
Ireland.
You haven't done the Kentucky
Nope.
Derby yet?
Done pretty much every other big horse race. Not the
China.
Kentucky Derby.
I'm going to quit nicotine.
Yep.
I'm going to do it.
Buy a boat. Scuba dive? I'd love to scuba dive.
I'm going to learn the rules of craps.
Yeah.
Well, buying a boat's opposite of your pick a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, but I eventually probably will be.
You'll still do
pulled
it.
We can acknowledge that it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
Oh, when I buy it, I'll be like, this is a waste of money.
Max wrote start a podcast, which what would
Whoa.
that be?
Oh, I would love to hear that.
Max.
Competition.
Philly
Max.
special.
We should greenlight that.
Yeah.
Learn how to fix a car.
But we get to name the podcast.
Yeah.
Second,
Loser Talk.
Second place.
With Max Delente. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, Max should do a podcast, but he should do a solo podcast.
Yeah.
I would love to hear that.
It's Max's thoughts unfiltered.
To the max.
Okay, go ahead.
My boyfriend has 6 drafts over Labor Day weekend. My parents invite us to their beach house for the long weekend, and I'm excited to see them. My boyfriend has 2 drafts each night and says he has to take them, but that I can go have fun with my parents. Can I be annoyed? Also, his team name is Kareem Pie, and we're 34 years old. Do fantasy team names like that ever end? Thanks, guys. Make sure you work until midnight Friday, Hank.
This is just kind of, it's guy season.
Yeah, you can't get in the way of the drafts.
I'd say 4 drafts over the course of 2 days is a lot, though.
I also think unless the draft is in person, which is a totally different thing, which is great. If you can get everyone in person, that's awesome. I think weekday drafts are better just because it gives you a little something to look forward to, like on a Tuesday night. Like I know my draft, I have a draft Wednesday night, I have a draft next Tuesday night. It's kind of fun, like something extra.
What's great if you're at work and you spend all day at work preparing for your draft that night.
Right. So if these are in person, I understand it. You can't get mad. If he's doing internet drafts on a Friday and Saturday, that's a little much.
You also can't schedule for Labor Day weekend.
You also got to figure out what the
Might be cheating.
That's the problem. He's probably in a group.
Might be cheating on you.
He's in a draft with losers.
Yeah.
That don't have Labor Day plans.
Yeah.
You gotta really drill down and find out which friend group is in which draft, because I bet one of these is with like internet strangers that he doesn't even know.
This also, I mean, I am that loser now that I'm thinking about it, because I was supposed to go to a lake house on Saturday, and I was like, college football.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of games.
I want to be sitting in my basement.
My husband asked me to pick a horse right before he placed a bet. I told him to put $10 on a horse, and 5 minutes later he won $100 on my pick. When I told him he needs to split the winnings with me, he laughed and said no. He insists I would not have given him half if he lost. Don't you agree I deserve some compensation as his gambling guru?
He brings up a good point. She wouldn't have given him money if he lost. So that doesn't. This actually reminds me of when we did an ad deal early Barstool Bellator, and we had to live tweet the event, and I of course bet every single fight, lost every fight. Last fight of the night, I went like double or nothing on a favorite, like minus like 400. Lost that. Lost like 10 grand, and I said to Dave, like, hey, I want to bet this if we didn't have to do this ad deal. He's like, okay, but if you had won, would you have split the money with Barstool? I was like, got me there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right.
You should offer to pay him $5.
Yeah.
Be like, I'll pay for my half of the bet, and then he gives you half of the winnings, $50.
Also, let's be honest. When you win a bet, especially at a horse race, that $100 is not won money, because you're going to lose it on the next race.
It's also, you're just recouping your losses.
Right. You're going to lose. Like maybe if it was the end of the day, you could make the argument that you get $50, but you got to let him play out the whole card.
I think you got to go back and see how much money he lost on the previous races, and then split those losses with him in exchange for the $50 share that you won on this bet.
I don't think the husband wants that.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
You don't want to start digging back into the archives.
That's a good
end
point.
up being Phil Mickelson real quick.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You don't want that. That is the whenever I come home from a weekend at the horse track, and it's like there's a couple times I've come home with like a big fat stack, and I'm just like, look at this. It's like, oh, where's my half? It's like, well, overall lifetime.
If you weren't with me in my losses, you're not with me in my wins. Hank, can you make a promise to the AWLs?
No.
That on Thursday night's show, you're going to have a positive attitude.
Try harder.
I just want a positive attitude.
I'm so positive.
And try not to be in this box.
No. You guys rigged it.
How do we rig it?
You can throw Thursday and it's over. It doesn't matter.
We're not going to. I've given you my word we're not going to throw Thursday.
I mean,
you know what? I'm going to vote Hank tomorrow.
Well, that's also Rick Hand.
Well, it's
I mean,
one
there's
more
a
vote.
chan-
It's
there's
one
a
more vote
chance
for
we-
Hank.
There's a chance that we might have to compete hard on. If you win this Mount Rushmore.
And they finished last twice. It's a tie.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Numbers.
18.
3.
69.
8.
Memes, you ever gotten it?
No. 1.
You took 3 from memes?
He's been doing it.
It's the only one that hasn't been picked.
All right.
I want to be on the right side of history.
They've all been picked.
3?
Yeah.
Then where the fuck is it?
Remember 26 was picked and I went crazy?
Yeah.
But I thought that's because 3 was gone.
3 was picked before it was missing.
Oh, then
3 was picked in like June.
17. Oh. Hank, that's your number.
These don't matter.
Yeah, but people still like it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they do.
Should we get the original one shipped?
Sure.
Until new
Yeah,
office?
why not?
I would love to see Billy try to pack that up and ship it responsibly.
I was on the call. I called one of the operations people who was helping with the new studio and the old studio, and as I called her, she's like, "Hey, I'm in your studio arguing with Billy about how he didn't trash it," and he was in the background. He's like, "I didn't trash it. This is their stuff."
No, he specifically, it was everyone else.
That's the Billy update for today. It was funny.
Oh, man. Okay, great show, boys. Friday, I think we're going to do a fantasy football preview, and you know who that means. So get excited. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Love you guys.
Hank, animal fact, Hank is the saddest animal in the animal kingdom.
Oh, bother.